Hello, everyone, and welcome to Roll for Puns, a very special Danganronpa roleplay. Session 1. Before I hand it off to our fabulous DM, I do have one quick announcement. As a reminder, next Saturday is Extra Life. It's going to be a grand time, going to play a bunch of games, might be D&D, who knows at this point. But it's going to be a lot of fun. So join us next weekend for our Extra Life charity event. We're going to be raising some money for sick kids. The donation link is down below or in chat. That shows up every once in a while. But yeah, join us then. But otherwise, I will hand it off to Nick, who is going to start us off with a brand new campaign based on the world of Danganronpa.
Yay! I have put way much more effort into this than I probably should have. All right. Hello,
I
everyone.
apologize when we destroy it within about 20 minutes.
Yeah, don't remind me. Hello, everyone. Thanks for tuning in to our first session of Danganronpa. Yay! My name is Nick. I will be the DM for this campaign. Before we begin the slow, indescribable dismantlement of our players' hopes and dreams, there's a few things I'd like to go over with all of you, both with the players and the audience members. I'm going to apologize beforehand. This is technically session 0 and session 1, so this is going to be a very long read. So again, I apologize in advance. Hence, like I said, why this is not only session 1, but session 0. So, if you guys have any questions, audience or players, please wait until the end, as there's a chance I might answer it as I go on. Just a quick heads up, this entire campaign will be on the slower side and involve, as I've said, a lot of reading on my end, if you can't already tell by now. This session should be by far the absolute worst of it. Also, I'm a pretty talented writer, so I sincerely hope you enjoy my work. If you do, feel free to let me know. So, without further ado, the first thing I'd like to go over with everybody, well, players, we're going to start with the players first, is that as long as it is not against another player, I will allow the players to commit a murder. The biggest reason being that it is logically impossible for me to not allow. Why, you ask? Because if I don't, that's 5 suspects that the audience can clear, and obviously the players could clear themselves and the other 4 people playing. But Nick, I hear you say, there's 10 or 11 NPCs, and that's great for the start of the game. However, for the last trial as an example, when there's 6 or 7 people total, including players, well, this problem can get compounded even further. Let's say that NPC Knife Thrust McKill-the-Guy says he must be innocent because he was in the guy's restroom when the murder occurred. This alibi is challenged by our player Sean, who was in the restroom at that time and saw no one else. At that point, it becomes pretty obvious who is lying and who isn't, and allows our players, and you, the wonderful, beautiful audience, to skip logic loops and arguments that need to be fleshed out in order to form a complete understanding of each crime. So, as far as murder is concerned, those are the main reasons why I'm allowing it, sort of, as I've said, just not between players. With that being said, if a player does decide to commit a murder, there's a few very important things that need to be understood. In the unlikely event you actually do get away with it, I'll pull you off to the side and read something special. We'll call it the blackened ending. After that, we will hop timelines, so to speak, and Monokuma will drop some kind of hint, as he always does and is known to do. You will be executed, and the game will continue for everyone else. So, this means that if you do decide to try composing a murder, it should solely be with the intention of getting that secret ending, but keep in mind, either way you lose your character. You get one shot to pull it off, obviously, so make it count. If you are thinking about taking the plunge, pun intended, so to speak, please try to talk to me first, especially if you have specific plans in mind, though I do understand that crimes of passion do happen. Sometimes an opportunity just presents itself. Just remember, private messaging me is important. I'm very lonely, you see. So does anybody have any questions about murder so far? Or are we all good?
I'm good.
Okay. So just to reiterate, I'm going to actively discourage killing other players. I don't want to, but I will. If someone dies from an NPC, there will be a lot of caveats involved that I'll go over in a minute, whereas if Sean just decides to give up his character for a shot at the secret ending and takes Denzel with him, that's not quite fair to Denzel. So that being
Oh,
said,
I died.
you're done. No, I'm just kidding.
You didn't pay your taxes.
Exactly.
Oh no, my TXs.
That being said, there are a few malicious behaviors between players that I will condone if any of you so choose. Stealing, attempting to sabotage the relationship of a player and an NPC, attempting to coerce an NPC to kill another player, etc. And lastly, if you craft a beautiful murder plot where the victim couldn't possibly be known to you, and another player manages to step into harm's way, chances are that I will save them. With all that being said, and I'm going to regret saying this now, the 5 of you are pretty mellow, so I doubt I'll have to worry about any haphazard murderous rampages, I say, jinxing myself entirely.
Sure.
That does not instill within me a measurable amount of confidence.
Oh,
Okay.
poor Nick.
I know. All right, so halfway done for the player side. I'm assuming there's no questions yet. I think we got that all covered. Okay, so now on to NPCs killing players. This will be probably more pertinent than the last thing. So, sorry. If you do something that causes you to be targeted by an NPC, I will let you know by saying your name and telling you that you are in danger. I may even give more info than this. Early game, the hints will be very big and obvious. However, as the game progresses, you may not get a hint or even a warning at all. Do not become so focused on the obvious when I do give you a warning. So let's look at a quick example. Sean, let's say Sean gets asked to go on a walk alone with our beautiful NPC. We'll name her Thick Buns Brittany. And I give him the warning, Sean, you're in danger. And Sean
Thick
goes,
Buns
yes,
Brittany.
you
Look, why
fucking
is
heard
Sean the
me.
one that's always gonna either kill or die here?
Well,
Sorry,
of course
keep
he's
going.
gonna say Sean. Sean's not.
Yeah,
Sean's not a
playing.
PC.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, sorry, I interrupted.
Please continue.
Let's
So-
hear about Thick Buns
Yeah.
Brittany.
Brittany.
So Sean, the beautiful, lovely Thick Buns Brittany asks you to go on a walk with her, and I say, Sean, you're in danger, and you say to yourself, all right, Mr. DM, I'll just get a third wheel to come along so she can't murder me. And the next day, Thick Buns Brittany's jealous stalker secretly ends up murdering you. So yeah, that's just a little warning. Don't get too focused on the obvious if I do give you a warning. So, in closing for the player side, the greatest advice I can give you that will be conducive to your survival is this. Be very aware of how you talk to people and how they talk back to you. Will you play as a standoffish loner, an easygoing individual who tries to get along with everyone, or something in the middle? There's pros and cons to all approaches. In essence, trust who you trust and don't trust who you don't trust. As long as you do that, you will probably be just fine, maybe? All right, so that's it for the player side. I hope I didn't swarm you guys with too much information. Do any of you guys have any questions before we head over to the audience side of things?
Nope.
Okay, I need to take a drink. All this reading is already killing me. Beautiful, beautiful Coke, the perfect thing for reading. Okay. All right, so on to the audience side of things. This entire campaign is obviously fan-made. Please be sure to support the official Danganronpa series. I'm pretty sure everybody here will personally recommend the games, but there is an anime adaptation of them. But games for the win. So that's that. The content of this campaign, much like the actual series, will be on the darker side. If you are in need of happy vibes, it's perfectly okay to come back and watch this series later when in the mood. This series will contain mature and coarse language and scenes. Just pretend you are scrolling through a comment section in a dark corner of the internet at 3 a.m. and you'll get the idea.
So a Reddit thread?
Exactly, yeah, that's probably more accurate, yeah. Please keep in mind that you are watching this through David's perspective. However, the other players may possibly have the stream chat popped out and his stream muted, so try not to spoil anything or accidentally let slip things that... Who's shitposting? Who is shitposting? No one's shitposting, sorry. Okay. However, the other players may possibly have the stream chat popped out and his stream muted, so try not to spoil anything or accidentally let slip things that only David should know. One wrong word can literally undo tens of hours of work on my end. I'm sure it will happen at least once, even if it's by accident, so I'm prepared for it. If you do accidentally give something away, please don't draw attention to it by apologizing or pointing it out, as it may have gone over the players' heads, or they might not have seen it. Also, don't panic, as I understand accidents happen. Okay, this is a big one. Please forgive me for the subpar voice acting. I have like 15 characters to voice act. My Monokuma voice especially will be awful, so I apologize for that in advance. If you came here looking for a decent Monokuma impression, I am about to disappoint you harder than I disappoint my parents. Before I go before I go on, does anybody have any questions or concerns so far? Speak now or forever hold your murder. I don't think so.
I'm gonna fan over your Monokuma voice so hard.
Does anyone have any questions about murder, or are we good?
I have questions about your Monokuma voice.
Yeah, I'm sure everybody's going to have questions about my Monokuma voice. Okay. All right, so we just have breaks, and then me explaining how rolling dice is going to work to get through before we officially start. David, I will leave you in charge of break times. Feel free to interrupt or stop me for breaks, and obviously, if anyone needs a quick break for whatever reason, don't hesitate to say something. We usually go on for about 3 hours, so that's how long pretty much each session will last. So, with that being said, let's go over the rolling and dice rules, and then after that, we will pretty much be good to go. Okay, so to take a quick look at how our dice is going to work, first off, we will only be using a D100. The number you roll will determine the outcome. Some things may give you advantage or disadvantage, such as items, circumstances, or even your talent. This will result in an adjusted number of dice being rolled, and you will take either the highest or the lowest, depending on the circumstances. Some rolls may have a flat DC that determines success or failure, obviously. Some you might be rolling against me, which, those will be easy because I have horrible luck. And if we tie, it will be considered a win for the player. So let's go through another quick example because I love throwing examples at people. Denzel. Let's pretend you are playing the ultimate firefighter, Les Burns, who is running into a burning building to save the ultimate damsel, David. As you get to the... Don't you love my examples?
Love them.
As you get to the entrance of the building, you notice that the door is stuck and won't open. You'll have to roll to break it down. Denzel tells me, however, that he brought along a fireman's axe just for this very specific reason and asks if that could give him an advantage. So I'll take this into consideration and tell you how many dice to roll. So in this case, 3. So Denzel, let's see how badly you want to save David. Go ahead and roll me 3 D100s. If you know how. Yep.
D100. I forgot
So,
what that was. It
on
was
the very bottom, the D10, if you right-click the D10, you'll see the ring pop up and you'll see the percentage. Click that, and then right-click 2 more times, and you'll add 2 more D100s to your roll. I rolled, but you probably can't see it because DM rolls are hidden.
I saw something I rolled and messed up. Let's see.
Nope, you're good.
Percentage.
Oh, that was Allison. Okay.
You said 2 more times? So basically a
Yep.
total of 6 dice?
Yes.
Okay.
And there we... Wow, he really wants to save you. So in this case, I would take the highest one that he rolled, which is a 94. Denzel, you easily kick down the door, sexy fireman style.
Come with
so
me
the
if you
door
want to
breaks.
live.
The door breaks. Les Burns runs up the stairs and finds an unconscious David. Denzel, you'll have to pick him up and carry him out. So now let's have you roll to see if you can make it out in one piece. Denzel, you will have disadvantage this time as you are actively carrying someone else.
Okay.
Now, here's the important part. Denzel, I will allow you to make a case for any advantages you think you should get. So, can you think of anything that would give you an advantage in this situation?
Since I am a fireman, I should be trained into it and have super strength or some type of strength.
The biggest thing there would be your talent. So taking that into consideration, I will allow you to roll 5 dice, and we'll see what you get, and we'll take the highest.
Still at disadvantage?
Nope, advantage. We'll be taking the highest.
Okay, so what would I roll for that?
So same thing, you're going to right-click the D10, click the percentage, and when you do that, you'll have 1 D100, which consists of 2 dice, so you'll just have to right-click 4 more times. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then roll.
Okay.
There you go. Well, you were 1 off. You had to click 1 more time, but that's fine. So yeah, you successfully save the ultimate damsel with that 89 is your highest. So that's how the dice rolling is going to work. Just a quick little overview. It's sort of going to be like a court case type of thing where you'll have to argue why you think you should get advantage, et cetera, et cetera. So hopefully nobody's confused. Hopefully that was a fun little thing. Does anybody have any questions about that, or are we good? I know I'm throwing like a shit ton of info right off the bat at you guys.
You can also drag the percentile into one of your numbers so that you have ready access to.
Whoops.
Oh yeah, down
D100.
the hotbar, yeah.
Recommend that. I actually have it where, since you used an example of up to 5 times. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So I can just
that's a good idea.
Ready.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's see if that works. Nope, I just hit a 1.
Did you put it in there, Denzel?
I put it in there, but I just hit 1. I think I got to hit. Nope, still hitting 1. What the fuck was that?
I clicked 2.
that was his.
But yeah.
Nope, I'm literally topping into the text box. I mean, maybe
No,
if I
not
stop
the
text.
box.
Oh, no.
The
Yeah.
hotbar at the bottom.
Yeah, I know.
So
I gotta hit the hotbar. I thought I was hitting the
Yes.
keyboard.
No.
So think of it like a copy and paste thing. So if you dragged 5 D100s onto your hotbar, when you click
Which I
your hotbar,
did.
it's going to roll 5 D100s. So yeah, if you have any, oh my god, you rolled a straight 100. Oh, that does not bode well. You also rolled a 1.
Oh.
There's other numbers, man.
Oh, I went from 1 to 100.
51. Anyway,
1 to 100.
Continue on.
Okay. All right. So that's the dice rolling. So let me see here. Okay. Sorry, my tables are all fucked up. Okay, so that's rolling and dice rolls. Okay, so everybody's got the dice rolling then. So with that being said, all right, one very last thing. Almost there, guys. I know it's been painful, but this is the home stretch. I will try to give each chapter a title. However, the unpredictable nature of a game like this might make that impossible. Nevertheless, I would like to officially welcome both players and audience to The Gunshot Diaries, Chapter 1, Memento Mori, The Butterfly with Glass Wings and Shattered Dreams. So, with that being said, is everyone officially ready to begin? I would suggest drinking water, or in my irresponsible nature, an entire thing of Coke. I don't know why I'm drinking Coke right now.
Hydrate, boy.
Hydrate!
I mean, that's
I am hydrating.
I mean, that's not how I do my Coke.
What the fuck?
God damn it,
So we're on stream.
Your character's dying first. Okay, so everybody's ready to begin then?
Yep.
All right. One last thing. No, I'm just kidding. That was a bad joke on my part. All right, so here's how we're going to start off. I'm going to read to you guys a little something to set the scene. It's maybe 2 paragraphs or so. Because I'm sure you guys are not tired of me reading shit by now.
Nah.
I know my writing can be very philosophical and hard to translate sometimes, so if at any time I finish reading something and you need clarification on anything, please do not hesitate to ask me. Just try to do it at the end if possible. Obviously, it's not a big deal if you interrupt me, but for clarity's sake, I'll probably address the party after a descriptive read one way or another. So, with that being said, God, I should not have drinking so much goddamn Coke.
You'll be fine.
I'm going to officially set the scene here. Okay. So, red ribbons of blood, the color of death, spill out from somewhere. You know you died, but no sound, no image, no memory of the event presents itself to you. Just the immutable truth, a fact as cold as your body once was. Shadows begin stirring the soul and the breath like calm waves over soft water, as your disoriented senses slowly begin to shake off your dreamless sleep and come alive. Your eyes flutter open and the world rushes to greet you. Though not much of it at the moment. You appear to be inside some kind of pod. A cryopod, perhaps? Nothing seems frozen, however, and you realize quickly that you are submerged in a strange, clear liquid, with your only method of breathing coming from some kind of apparatus fitted over your mouth and nose. In front of your eyes, a horizontal band of thick looking glass gives you a brief yet restrained glimpse of the world outside your confines. An almost pitch black room with a circle of similar pods, of which you surmise you are a part of. In front of every pod appears to be a medium-sized footlocker. A loud noise suddenly fills your head, a violent, mechanical whirring, combined with a sound akin to rushing water, as your pod slowly begins to drain. All right, so the scene is set. Hopefully that wasn't too confusing for everyone. I'm assuming everyone got the gist. Okay, so we're going to move on to Allison, as Allison is first. Allison, the liquid inside your pod finishes draining, and you hear a click in front of you. What do you do?
I try to open the pod.
Okay. As you go to open the pod, you'll realize very quickly that your body is numb and extremely hard to move at first. You push against we'll call it the door of your pod, and it slowly begins to push outwards and upwards. As I said, you'll realize that your skin, your body, it's numb. It's very, very hard for you to move. You'll also realize that you are wearing a sort of gender-neutral, skin-tight black shirt and shorts. And you'll also notice that you have to remove the breathing apparatus to get out of the pod, which I'm assuming you're going to begin working on.
Yes.
All right, as you sort of stick your head out, the pod to your left opens, and a girl with light blue hair slowly begins to heave herself out. The pod next to her does not open, but the pod after that does. So moments later, about 2 pods further down, a boy whose hair is half blue and half blonde is seen exiting his. David, the liquid in your pod finishes draining, and you hear a click. What do you do?
Try to push the pod open.
All right, yeah, same thing. I won't go into detail. The same thing happens. You push your pod door open. It raises slowly upward and outward. Denzel, the liquid in your pod finishes draining, and you hear a click. I'm assuming you also push the pod door.
I will also push the door open.
All right.
Kind of slowly because I'm like worried, like what the heck's out there. But then I kind of see everybody else, so I kind of then a little bit
quicken
faster.
up after that.
Yeah.
Denzel, the paranoid one. We need someone like that.
He puts his head outside. Something's gonna murder me. I know it. To your left, Denzel, 4 more pods open, and then we get to Ian's. Ian, your pod slowly and finally finishes draining, and you hear a click. I'm assuming you open and try to step outside.
Oh, absolutely.
All right. So after Ian's pod, there's 4 more, and then we finally get to the last one. Sean, your pod finishes draining, and you hear a click. I'm assuming you try to
screaming and banging on the inside of it.
All right, the rest of you hear very, very muffled scream and some bangs. If you choose to look, Allison, it will be the pod directly across from, directly to your left.
I will go over to the pod to investigate.
Must be claustrophobic.
Maybe he's having trouble
and try
getting
to
out.
open it.
All right, Sean, you see a girl with orange hair sort of step out and walk over to your pod. As you all exit your pods, a choir and chorus of coughing, sputtering, and general grievance flavored and salted with swears seems to fill the room. One girl, and apparently Sean, both seem to be having difficulty getting themselves out of their pods. One pod appears to not have opened at all. So Sean, you see a couple people now walking over to your pod. And Allison, you said you're going to attempt to help him?
I'm attempting to open it, yeah, but you said we're all like really weak, so I don't know how that's going.
Especially because as you get closer, you realize that the surface of the pod is streamlined. There's nothing for you to grab onto, really.
I'm still trying.
All right. This Coke is not doing good for my voice.
Oh no. Get some water too, just to balance it out.
I'll have to grab some water as we go on, but I'm fine for now. So everybody's pretty much out. There's a ring of people. Sean, you're still in your pod. You see someone trying to help you, but nonetheless, your pod door is still closed. As I've said, the rest of you see Allison helping out, trying to help out Sean, and another person. Although her pod door is open, she seems to physically be having trouble getting out of her pod, but her door is actually open.
So how are you helping me, Allison?
I'm attempting to find like any sort of way to like find the door, and I'm also saying it opens from the inside, yelling it at your pod.
I'm screaming, "Let me out!"
As you say that,
it opens from the inside.
As you say that, a girl with dark wine red hair responds to you. Look, if he can't open it himself, I'm just saying, cut our losses, leave him in there.
That seems a little heartless, don't you think?
Survival of the fittest. David, Ian, Denzel, what are the rest of you doing?
as that's starting to happen, I'm gonna go over to the other pod, and try and help the girl out. The one that you said was open, she just couldn't get out. I'm gonna try and help her.
Okay. As you approach, she looks extremely thankful. I'll read character descriptions here in a couple minutes, but you also notice she is probably the most beautiful girl you've ever seen. She has blonde hair, and I'll give a more in-depth description of her later. She sort of reaches out her hand. I'm assuming you take it and help pull her out.
Yeah.
You'll notice she's
sorry.
frail and physically weak. And Ian pulls out a very fancy. Well, Ian doesn't have his shit at the moment, but yeah. So okay.
That was accident.
You help her out. She thanks you in a very, very soft voice, and she tells you that her name is Grace. Denzel, Ian, what are you two doing?
Well, I feel like I have to start grabbing my shit now.
Okay.
So I will go to the Foot Locker and just start seeing what I have.
Okay. Denzel, what were you going to be doing? Pretty much the same?
Is Sean's character still in the pod screaming?
Currently, yes. Also, I just got handed a glass of water, so thank you.
The noise is irritating me, so I'm gonna go over there and help him.
Okay.
Or help Allison.
Allison, I won't you message me, I won't spoil anything, but you'll just have to tell me when you're going to do it and what you're going to do.
Oh,
And then I will either pull you off somewhere or just type it out. So you're going over to sort of help. Sean, you have quite a bit of people staring at you inside your pod.
do you think that it's soundproof?
Well, I mean, I can hear him, so I'm going to assume no.
You're not wrong there, but I meant on the inside.
If it's not soundproof one way, it probably wouldn't be soundproof the other way. She then puts her face up against the glass, Sean. You see her face very well, and she says, "Pull, God damn it!" Wait, no, pull, push. Fuck, I got my directions mixed up. I've confused him even more.
I attempt to pull the glass, and then I attempt to push the glass.
This isn't working. He's going to starve to death. And then you start pushing. As you start to push, it finally opens. Your door finally opens. There's a small crowd that's gathered over. A couple of other people have started to investigate the foot lockers. I'm assuming, Sean, that you'll attempt to exit your pod. You'll notice that your body is numb and hard to move.
That's normal.
There is one thing I'll go over real quick. This is pretty much specifically for Allison, since you were taking a closer look at the pod. So the outside seems sleek, smooth, and tough. Near the bottom, only a foot or two above the floor, is an assortment of controls, gauges, a vent, displays with various metrics such as power usage, ports for plugins, and a screen that reveals the occupant's name. So that's sort of as you investigate his pod before it opens what you'd find.
Ooh,
And
so what's his name?
what is his name? It says Bud Bailey.
Bud Bailey.
So as that happens, there was a few of you that were investigating the footlockers.
Yes.
All right, so as you investigate the footlocker, you notice a small display on the front of it. One word comes up followed by a question mark, along with a small touchscreen keyboard. Talent? That's right. You were pretty good at something, weren't you? So as you investigate it, a small little word comes up followed by a question mark. It says talent, and then a keyboard pops up.
I type quartermaster into it.
All right, as you do it, it clicks, and you now have everything in your inventory. I'm assuming you put on your trench coat and the rest of your stuff, etc., etc.
Oh yes, all my pockets.
All right, yeah. As I said, as you enter your talent, a click is heard, and the chest swings open. Some of the NPCs have already started opening theirs. Yeah, so there's that. I don't think I have to go over anything else with the footlocker. All right, so what are the rest of you currently doing? So Sean, you've just recently exited your pod. There's a small group of people staring at you. David, you helped. She told you her name was Grace. She begins looking at her footlocker. You'll notice, by the way, David, when the thing comes up asking her talent, she types in ballerina, and her footlocker opens, and just normal ballerina stuff, mostly clothes. She grabs her stuff out.
Okay. After I make sure that she's all right, I head over to the footlocker of the pot I came out of.
Okay, I'm assuming you type your talent in. A click is heard, the chest swings open, so you now have all your things. Denzel, what are you currently up to?
He was helping me with Sean.
Right, he was helping you.
Well, he's out now. Is that correct?
Yep. Well, I don't know. Did you exit your pod, Sean, or are you still in there? The door is definitely open.
Yeah, I burst out of there. I'm assuming I'm still halfway attached to the breathing apparatus.
Yeah, yeah, pretty much.
Well, the door is open, so he can figure out the rest on his own. So I'm gonna head to my locker.
All right, so you type in your talent. It swings open. You grab your stuff, which is a couple of books. God help me, why the fuck did I write those for you? Not looking forward to when that comes up.
My lovely books.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
My babies.
As you then hear, there's where they are. As you hear a large thump as I put something on the ground.
Does it weigh 50 pounds?
It does weigh 50 pounds.
Oh, dear God. All right. The rest of you see a pretty big, large box hit the ground with a thud, and maybe some click-clack sounds afterward.
What the heck?
I see a box. I go over and investigate from a safe distance.
You investigate from a safe distance.
I'm going to begin attempting to help Bud figure out the breathing apparatus.
Oh boy.
Look, he's clearly panicking. I have to help.
Do you blame the man, really?
Yes. I mean, no, but he's clearly flailing around and panicking. I have to help.
All right, Bud, as you begin flailing around because there's something attached to your face, you don't know what the hell it is. You just want it off. A red-headed girl, or is your hair more red or orange in this?
Orange.
I guess it's up to you. Okay, orange. An orange-haired girl begins helping take whatever face-hugging monstrosity has attached itself to you off your face. Ian, you said you were investigating the box. David, did you want to explain it? I don't know if you wanted to make any changes. You can make it look like however you want. I just sort of wrote my ideas on your in the notes under your inventory.
So it is a decent-sized rectangular wooden box, painted all black with a red intricate dragon on the top of it with the word Dragon's Horde underneath.
Huh.
All right. One of the NPCs, a boy with blue and white hair, he sort of looks at the box, looks at you, looks at the box, sort of admires the box from a distance, and he just goes, I don't know what's in there, but nice box. And he begins grabbing his stuff from his footlocker.
Thanks. This is my treasure.
All right. At this point, do any of you investigate the room you're around, or are you all sort of distracted amongst yourselves at the moment?
I look to see how distressed Bud Bailey is.
Bud Bailey, how distressed are you?
Bud Bailey doesn't know what the fuck's going on.
On a scale of 1 to 10.
1 second. 1 second, Nick.
Oh, this water's doing marvels. All right. Bud is figuring out how to... Uh-huh. How distressed are you, Bud Bailey?
Let's go with an 8.
Okay, that's not as bad as I... So yeah, about an 8 out of 10, Ian, is how distressed Bud Bailey over there is. I assume...
I ask if he needs an emotional support animal.
Oh, Jesus Christ, so it begins. Oh, what have I done?
you bring your things in here? I don't know. Who are you people?
It's a great question. Who is everyone? Where are we? As I pop open my wooden chest, and there you are, as I pull out a D20 and close the box.
A red-headed girl, dark wine red-headed girl speaks up. Yeah, I concur. This is quite strange. Where are we, indeed? And she looks around.
How many redheads are there?
Fuck, 2. You and hers is like a dark wine red, not like a
So
a
this is the
bright
girl
red.
that was sassing me earlier.
Yeah, it's the same
Okay.
one. So if any of you choose to look around the room, you'll notice that the room is fairly large. You already know there's in the middle of it is a ring of pods, which you all just exited, each with a medium-sized footlocker several feet in front of them. High above and center, you notice it now, fixed into the ceiling, is a lone air conditioner that drones on. The room otherwise remains empty except for what looks like a massive iron gate-like door that is currently sealed. The door is flat with no control surfaces, just a flat slab of impenetrable metal. And as she notices this, she says, looks like we're locked in. Why don't we go around and introduce ourselves? Then we can try to figure out a way out of here. Perhaps one of us might possess a skill we can utilize. And, well, I guess you should go first since you were the first one out. And she looks towards you, Allison.
Why me?
So with that, we're going to officially start character introductions here. Do you want me to read your appearance and stuff for you?
Yeah, sure, but I'm also at this point breaking into my footlocker while I'm talking.
All right, that's fine. So we're gonna officially start character introductions. So everybody has an appearance. I will read. Some, especially Allison, has a nice little picture. So we'll go over those in a minute here. So as far as the appearance goes, let me take a drink of the good old water. 1 second.
Yes, hydrate.
All right. I am so hydrated right now. Okay.
So awesome.
All right. So as far as appearance goes, hair forged from burnt copper falls in tangerine waves, spilling like rays from the sun, slung across this girl's shoulders and down her back. Her hair contrasts sharply with her black hoodie adorned with blue trim. A mythical turtle with cloud-like ears is emblazoned on the back and hidden behind a curtain of strawberry locks. A look of understanding and empathy adorns her face. A long pair of jean shorts and gray shoes with blue trim complete a modest yet comfortable look. And with that down, I now need to share something really, really, really cool. Is this it? Yes, that is it. All right, so let me just share this real quick. Aha! Be shared, all of you. All right, so this picture was drawn by one of our really good friends. She is an amazing artist. Her name is Masha Ruby.
Yes.
She's literally so goddamn talented. She drew that like during her lunch break, apparently. She has an Instagram. Let me type her name in the chat. I should have actually put this on a note so it won't be very tall or big, unfortunately.
And for those watching the stream, it's right on screen for you.
Oh, that's even easier. All right, yeah, that's what I was looking for.
Oh, you put that on the screen?
Yep.
Nice.
All right, cool. All right, you got it popped up. She's an extremely talented artist. If art is your thing and you want to see a lot of cool things, she does Pokemon, pretty much a lot of stuff. So, yeah, if you feel like looking at cool pictures like that, please go check her out. You will not be disappointed. She also streams. I believe she has a website. I don't remember the website name offhand. But yeah, so that's her picture. It's really cool. It's amazing. I wish I was talented. I can't even draw stick figures. Okay.
You're talented, just not in the art aspect.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess I'm okay at writing. But anyways, moving on. So do you give like any sort of verbal introduction, Allison? I know I read your thing, so go ahead and take it away. Introduce yourself.
My name is Allison, and I'm kind of just wondering how we got here.
Same. You have a talent, don't you?
Yeah. I feel weird saying it though, but people call me the ultimate empath.
At that, the room sort of falls a little silent, and eventually, unless you have anything else to add, they will look on to the next person.
I don't have anything else to add.
All right. Right, Sean's going to throw me off because he changed his name because everybody was in alphabetical order, so you're on a different spot on my character selection. So the next person...
I told you, like,
I
right
know.
away what my name was. You forgot.
No, it's... yeah, that is true. But when I did this, I was like, all right, everybody's pod's going to be in alphabetical order, and your name was still Sean by then. I wasn't thinking when I did that, but that's fine. So the next person that goes, and unfortunately I don't have any pictures for, like, the NPCs or anything. The next person that goes is the very first person that you saw, Allison, when you were crawling out of your pod, the blue-haired girl. So as far as her appearance goes, waves of soft blue locks fall upon the shoulders of this girl like the sea cutting into the sands of a beach. Eyes splashed with hazel peer from beneath the brim of a fisherman's hat adorned with hooks and lures. Her green crop top and shorts, as well as her hair, seem to have had some of their color stolen, bleached and washed away by salt in the ocean breeze. Her skin is like a pool of melted bronze, the hue of which is broken intermittently with cracks and calluses. A fishing pole is slung diagonally across her back at all times, and she is noticeably barefoot. So, let me just pull up everybody's freaking names here. So, that's right. The one thing I have to warn you all is my names. I'm very bad at naming. I usually named them after their talents, but keep in mind... Whoa, why did the character selection just do that? All right, never mind. It was a random thing. So their names, most of them are named after their talent, but some of them are named after the talents that they were originally going to have. So don't take it as the absolute law as far as their names go, because some of their names do not reflect their talents. And I am very bad at accents and voice acting, but she pipes up, "My gosh, I have no idea where I'm at. My name is I know, I'm so bad.
No,
She
I
goes,
love it. Keep going.
You love it? All right.
I love it.
My name is Castanet. Castanet Adeline Fisher. I'm the ultimate angler. And she sort of does like a little bow, sort of. And as she does so, unless any of you have anything you want to say to her, we'll immediately move on to the next person. Did any of you have anything you wanted to add?
As I'm just writing stuff down, is that castanet with a K or a C?
That's a C.
Okay, thank you. As I write things down in my notebook.
All right, so...
Is it? Real quick question.
Mm-hmm.
Is it possible to...
Oh, it's always possible.
Because I didn't really have a name. Is it possible to add name real quick?
Yeah, you can change your name.
Sweet. Okay, continue.
Okay, so... with that out of the way, the next... Oh god, what have I done? Oh, right, because you're changing... That's what that was. Okay, that was you changing your name. Okay, that makes sense. Okay. So, the next person that speaks up is a boy. He has... half of his hair is blue, half of his hair is blonde, and I am going to read his appearance real quick. A row of shark-like teeth weave themselves into an almost arrogant-looking smile. A pair of piercing blue eyes, both shallow, yet wielding an uncalculated depth, almost seem to swallow the room whole. Wild and untamed hair, half blonde, and the other half dyed in almost electric blue, seems to spike randomly in places and lay neatly flat in others. A white racing suit with the words, Heaven's Devil, written in bold black lettering, hide whatever clothes are underneath. A lit cigarette hangs from his mouth precariously, and releases a miasma of acrid smoke, forming a dull, poisonous halo of gray that always hangs above him. Well, as far as I'm concerned, you could call me Crash, ultimate race car driver. And he sort of flicks his cigarette and sticks it back in his mouth. Do any of you have anything that you wanted to add, interject?
Why are you called Crash if you're a driver?
Well, you should see me when I'm not racing. Sometimes people just get in my way, you know? It's one of the things I don't like.
So you crash into them?
Yeah, unless they move.
It's like that Daughtry song, I think.
It is exactly like that Daughtry song.
Interesting. Should write that in my book one day.
You got a car in there pointing to his box?
No, sadly, I wish I did. So after that, unless anybody has anything else to add, the people turn to you, David. So yeah, your go, David. Take it away.
Well, you might as well share my picture.
Right. Let me set my water down. Images. There's this and share and boom.
So before you see a medium-sized man, brown hair, brown goatee, wielding with a red t-shirt and just a black overcoat. On his back, as he seemingly pulled out of the box, is a giant foam sword. As he grabs it and points it to the sky, "My name is David. I am the ultimate DM. I am here for adventure, though I wish I knew where I was."
As you say that, you'll hear one of the voices in the back pipe up. Did he say DM? Is he the ultimate dungeon master?
Yes.
Oh my god! You'll notice it comes from a girl. We'll get to her later.
As I then roll one of my dice on the ground. I think we'll figure out how to get out of this room soon.
Oh, great. He's going to roll dice to get us out of here. As I continue to scroll through my book.
As I then go put my dice into the wooden box.
All right. All right. So moving on, unless anybody has anything they want to add or interject. All right. So moving on, we come to so the next is a girl. She has dark skin. So a tall girl with flawless dark skin stands before you, her eyes like wells of warm, viscous honey. Her black hair, much like her spirit, is wild and untamed, woven naturally into a graceful afro. Strangely enough, this girl seems to radiate an aura of nonchalance popularity, the literal definition of too cool to care. Her hands always seem to remain in the pockets of her hipster-styled clothes. A pink bubble escapes the prison of her lips periodically before popping, which explains why the scent of bubblegum always seems to hang on her breath. Lastly, thick metal loops hang from both of her ears. And she barely talks, only enough to give her name and her talent. Fantasia Allwell. Ultimate confidant. And she sort of flashes like a peace sign.
Love it.
And a few moments go by and you hear a loud pop as another bubble bursts.
I have to write her in my books. Character is so interesting and sassy. I love it.
You wouldn't be the first.
Nor will I be the last.
From the back as you say that, you just hear, "Oh!" You know who's dying first. All right. Unless anybody has anything to add, we'll move on to the next one. Okay, David, this one looks incredibly familiar to you. This is Grace. All right. This is easily the most beautiful girl you've ever seen. The shine of her eyes, like motes of shattered starlight, violently filtered through the night sky they diffuse through. Her smile 1,000 times more radiant still. The whole world seems to still in the presence of her heartbeat. Her skin looks as if it's fashioned from porcelain, and her hair seems to be spun from gold. White ballet dancewear with black tights dress her slim figure. A pair of polished ballet flats hang from her fingers. Strangely enough, she seems to smell both like bleach and laundry detergent at the same time. Her feet are noticeably bandaged. My name's Grace. Grace McFay. Ultimate ballerina. And she does like a small curtsy. You can tell she's incredibly nervous. and shy. But she does a cute little curtsy, and that's pretty much that. All right. Does anybody have anything they wanted to say, add, interject? Otherwise, we'll move on to the next person.
So adorable. Must write that in the book as well.
Oh my god.
Why does he keep talking about a book?
Clearly, he is
We
a fellow
whispering.
Okay, moving on to what's probably my favorite character. 1 second, I need another drink.
You hear that?
Got it. That's the one we need to kill. Got it.
No. This isn't the voice you've been hearing in the back. All right, so a brilliant shine seems almost permanently affixed to a thin pair of glasses, the light dancing within the clear lenses. Dark locks of black, wavy hair give a refined, yet almost reclusive impression to most. Even though he is average height, he somehow always seems to look down on you. You can't tell what it is, but something tells you this boy is better than you. At literally everything. Your flaws are laid bare like scars against the soul under a merciless and all-seeing gaze. Oh, and for some reason he's dressed in a pink hoodie, pink jeans, and pink athletic shoes with black trim.
Oh god, I hate him.
Not that there's anything wrong with that. I mean, how could there be? He is wearing them after all. And he sort of pushes his glasses high up onto his face and he speaks out, "Garbage. You're all garbage. Especially you." He looks at you, Ian. "Where did you find that jacket, huh? Did the homeless shelter have a discount clearance sale?"
It did, actually, and then I added all these pockets on it.
You can't fool me. I'm the ultimate critic, after all.
Good for you.
So we have a critic in the crowd.
Oh, great. Everyone needs a critic. More to my
Only the
fan
best. I have dismantled entire restaurants, hotels, you name it.
But why dismantling? You can just build.
Well, because they're not good enough, that's why.
So build it better.
Well,
So,
be fair,
Mr.
hardly
Critic,
anything.
what's your name?
My name, right. My name is Harshman Castigator.
What?
I'm gonna need
Harshman
you to spell that one.
Castigator.
Well, if you can't spell, take it up with your teacher.
I'm just gonna write you down as bitch boy.
Okay, that was good. I liked that.
But why tear things down when you can build them to be better?
I'm not the ultimate miracle worker. I'm the ultimate... You know what? Never mind. I'm not going to waste my energy here. He claps. Next. And as he does, Julian. No, sorry. I read my thing wrong. Not Julian. God, y'all changing the order. Things are going to get messed up for me. So the next person, it's another boy. I will read his appearance real quick. A volatile scent akin to cinnamon and gunpowder seemed to effervesce inside this boy's personal space at all times. His void black hair appears to be starbursted with random and wondrous colors in several places, the luster of which ironically dies back out to its natural color. White medical bandages hide most of his pale skin from view, concentrated heavily around his hands and the left half of his face. His clothes seem to match his hair, jet black with vibrant splotches of color. However, over the top of this ensemble, he dons a light gray jacket that almost seems a size too small. The jacket itself seems to have been ripped apart in multiple places and crudely sewn back together. On the back of it is a rainbow flag that appears to have been delicately stitched on and somehow remains unharmed, though the rest of the jacket is damaged. The most striking thing, however, isn't what stands out, it's what doesn't. Earthy brown eyes, the color of mud, seem to take in the fullness of everything around them before departing its interest. And as he speaks up, he does so with explosive energy. "All right! My name is Howitzer, and I'm the ultimate pyrotechnician!" And he sort of lets loose and yells at the sky when he does his introduction there.
A pyrotechnician. Maybe he can help blow us out of this joint.
Yeah, what do you got? Any fun explosives?
Right, I just, let me check my inventory. Let's see. I have, oh, that's incredibly disappointing. I have a pack of sparklers.
And
Apparently, whoever put our stuff inside these, I'm just gonna assume I'm not trusted, and I'm a little offended, to be honest.
And my disappointment is unfounded.
there goes our way
He
out of here.
reminds me of someone. I just can't put my finger on it.
You want a sparkler?
Yes.
All right. I also apparently wasn't trusted with a lighter, so you have to figure that one out on your own.
Your bud.
He hands you a lighter.
Hold on. I open my trunk. I thought I had some flint dice in here.
Wait,
As I
what?
start rummaging through my trunk.
Flint?
All right.
What?
You would eventually find some, for God's sakes, you have so many dice. Yeah, now we're cooking! As he sees you pull out some flint dice. He holds out quite a lot of sparklers.
I think we only need one for the moment as I pull out the D4 and the D8.
Let's light this candle!
Shh.
You light all the sparklers. He gives out a yell of excitement. Hell yes! And he starts waving them around all crazy like. And everybody else, I'm assuming, players included, just stare at him.
I'm enthralled.
Okay.
Well, that's a little bit of excitement anyway. Puts the dice back in the trunk and closes it.
That was definitely a very needed source of entertainment, thank you. You hear someone from the back say. And moving on next, the group looks at you, Ian. Where's your goddamn character sheet? There it is. Do you want me to read your description?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, so I'm going to apologize beforehand. Ian already knows this. So I wrote pretty much everybody's description, and for some reason, I could just not come up with a good one for Ian. So this is kind of lackluster compared to the others. So, dark chocolate-colored hair sculpted into a pristine crew cut, and a shadowy gaze that constantly changes direction like the wind. Dozens of pockets, deeper than a lover's gaze, and nervous fingers with some digits missing. If refined chaos was a person, you would be looking at them. An overly large trench coat and a hefty, sizable backpack seem to drown out any other wardrobe choices that would otherwise be visible. And you will all notice that, especially because everybody's gotten their stuff now, everybody has a strange bear-themed backpack, except him. His backpack is different, and it is much larger than the rest of yours. And go ahead and take it away, Ian. You can give your verbal introduction now.
All right. My name's Ian, everybody. I'm what you could call the ultimate quartermaster. Whatever it is, it's probably in these pockets here somewhere.
Oh,
Anybody want a cat?
He's like a master of quarters.
A what?
You have cats?
12
have
to be precise.
2 statements here. 1, that's not what quartermaster mean. 2, what?
I feel sorry.
Wait, no. I'm interested in these cats.
You want one?
Wait,
Do you have
cats
cat
with you?
food?
Probably.
Wait, are the
I-
cats here?
Yep. I pull out the box with the cats.
He does indeed pull out a box of kittens, and I hate myself for this.
How are those cats still alive?
I love
Bag of
them.
holding nonsense. Don't worry about it.
Where did you get those?
One of my characters had a cat in one of my novels. Oh, it looked just like this one. I think the cats.
But where are the quarters?
They're with my wallet.
Again,
That makes sense.
How are they still alive? Where did you pull those out from? Also, he's got a point. That's kind of makes you like a weird dealer than a quartermaster.
Potato.
It's
What?
potato.
Close
But
enough.
wait, do you have cat food? How are these kittens going to survive? I
We
feel
can
like
rustle
we're
something up.
ignoring the important thing.
Hold on.
The important thing
Let
is
me
how the cats lived this long. We don't know how
Give
long
me a
we've
minute.
been in these pods.
Give me a second. Look in. No, that's
What
just
are
a
you
picture of another
looking
cat.
for?
There's Steven. We'll not worry about him for now. Let me see.
Are you rummaging through your pockets right now?
Yes, I am.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure.
It's not exactly cat food, but I do have a pound of guacamole.
What?
Just a few exasperated sighs.
I mean, I guess that we won't starve right away.
I'm actually thinking I would rather starve, but that's just my personal opinion.
Who knows where that's guacamole's been? Besides in his pocket.
Oh, I also have a box of saucy chicken nuggets.
Saucy.
And that's where I draw the line.
How much?
No, these are my nuggets. Don't worry about it.
Well, at least we know he won't starve.
Hey, Ultimate DM, is that sword of yours real? I can't remember.
No, it's foam. Because
So maybe if we hit him really hard with it.
Maybe.
Hey! I can hear you. Don't make me cast magic missile in your general direction.
Noted. Alright, did anybody have anything else they wanted to add, interject?
No.
Okay, so, with that being said, a sort of small hushed silence sort of hits the group, and then everybody turns to Julian. Which means it's time for another art shout out. Let me grab your picture real quick, Denzel, and share it. So, blam! Whoops. There we go. Blam! All right, so, as I've said, we know quite a few extremely talented artists. Denzel, you made this yourself.
Yes. Oh.
You had to come in here with your goddamn audacity and me not being able to draw literally stick figures and make me put this beautiful picture on the screen.
I mean, just like the other talented artists, Marsha, I figured, why not draw it? Or if we're both talented, why not draw it ourselves?
Masha Ruby, yeah.
Masha Ruby. So,
did you have any sort of Instagram or anything you wanted to say real quick, or
not at this moment because I'm trying to set it up. So no.
All right. Well, if you guys are interested in his art, be sure to, say how much you like it in the comments. And if you want any updates, we'll be able to update you later. But that is very, very cool. I like the colors, to be honest.
I was thinking of going for a pink color. So I was like, huh. And since I said, I'm a novelist, erotic novelist, might as well have him with a book pose.
Yeah, I'm going to forever regret your character.
Erotic novelist, huh?
So there's a funny little backstory to this. So
yes.
Originally, I think you were going to be like a comic book writer, and I had messaged Denzel. I was like, hey, I'm going to have an NPC that is the ultimate erotic novelist. It's kind of close to your talent. Do you want me to change the NPC's talent? I can do that if you think it's too close to yours. And Denzel was like, no, you know what? I'll be the ultimate erotic novelist. So I'm sitting there like, fuck, what have I done? What have I done?
So I was like, nah, that's fine. I can work with this.
All right. So with that, you guys all see that boy. Denzel, did you want to do a verbal introduction, I assume?
Okay, sure. Well, hello everyone, and the so-called DM over there with your big box of dice. My name is Julian Fairfield, and I, as you can tell, am the wonderful and famous novelist of erotica.
Yeah, there's a whisper in the background. Does he write porn?
That is what
I
that
do
means.
I do not write porn. Porn is smut. I write very romance novels with sensation, candles, hot bodies coming together in a pack of energy and lust.
Oh my god!
Oh, he
AKA
didn't write this book.
You do you, porn man.
So
I don't do porn.
it sounds like he doesn't do him. Other people do other people, and he writes about it.
Hey, I see what I see. I put the character together, and I make a beautiful story.
Oh god. So I'm just gonna read this real quick. This was just like my thoughts or my original idea, but what I have written down for notes under his talent. You write the sauciest of books, each page an irresistible step across the line of decency, each paragraph a violation of the moral fabric of society. Your unapologetic smut was meant to be read with the lights off.
It is true. Once you start the pages, you have to turn the lights off and get into the mode.
God, no, what have I done? Oh, this is an actual character in my campaign.
Yes. And I'm going to enjoy the crap out of it.
Anybody have anything they wanted to add, interject, etc.?
I want to ask him if he can sign something.
Oh god.
A fan, I see. What would you like me to sign for you?
A body pillow?
What?
Oh Jesus Christ.
What is a body pillow?
I pull out a body pillow with an anime drawing of Keanu Reeves.
Jesus Christ, so it begins.
Is that Keanu Reeves?
Might be.
It's very tasteful. Should probably use him in my art, or I should say not. Have him play a character in one of my novels. I signed it anyway.
I'm pretty sure that violates copyright laws. Also, do you sleep with that thing? I'm confused.
I don't. Ronald does.
Who does?
Ronald?
It's not important.
No, I think this is very important.
All right. I pull out a life-size cardboard
Nick,
cutout
if
of Ronald
these
Swanson.
introductions are going on, I'm starting to try and figure out how to get out of the room. Things are getting weird.
You'll notice here you can't. There's an impenetrable steel door.
I'm just trying to figure it out.
All right, what did you say? I think David said something.
I said, who's Ronald?
Yeah, Ian, who's Ronald?
Ronald is the cardboard cutout that is life-size of Ron Swanson.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I'm over at his backpack trying to figure out how he's pulling these things out.
Well, you see, he's not pulling all of them out of his backpack. He's
Magic
got a
happens in
trench.
there. Leave it alone. Magic happens.
He also has a trench coat.
How did you just pull a life-size cardboard cutout of a trench coat?
Pockets are bigger on the inside.
I want to find something to criticize, but I swear to God, I can't. It's brilliant.
I hand him a participation trophy.
Who are you handing a participation trophy?
Bitch boy.
Ah,
Harshly
I have
castigated.
also... This is ironic. Usually I'm the one handing these out.
That's about time you're on the receiving end.
Oh, I know a thing or two about the receiving end. He winks at you.
That was another
I ship
thing.
it.
I'll write about it.
All right, new campaign
Moving
plan.
on.
Here we go.
Oh, there will be payment for this.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Does anybody have anything else they want to add, or are we moving on to the next person?
As I take my pencil and notebook, Ian, Pockets of Infinity, BBEG.
All right. This next person, it's the girl that you heard pipe up earlier with the really high-pitched voice. Anytime anybody says something dirty, she sort of gives an exaggerated type of thing. So, twirls of brown and frosted streaks of white make the buns on the left and right side of this girl's head resemble cinnamon buns. A sharp smile carves itself onto her face, and a few splotches of glitter decorate her cheeks like the sprinkles on a donut. Her eyes are black and colorless, as if there's no light to find, yet her demeanor is warm, sweet, inviting. Her clothes consist of an all-white baker's ensemble, complete with an apron and an almost goofy-looking baker's hat. And as the entire crowd sort of looks at her and stares at her, she's obviously very, flummoxed, nervous, with all the eyes on her. My name is Juliet. Juliet Lovewain. And she sort of bows as she introduces herself. God, this is already killing my voice. I can't do her voice for shit. She pipes up with her talent. Ultimate patisserie.
What?
Ultimate what?
Ulti-
Patisserie. It's like a baker.
Ah, you bake goods, I see.
You were muted, Allison.
Difference, that's why I'm not.
Oh, she's talking about the. Okay, yeah. What did you say, Denzel?
I said, so you bake goods, I see.
Yeah. You'll know that she's very, very nervous when talking. All right. Did
Ah,
anybody have anything? Oh, go ahead.
the cute shy type. I must write about you as well.
She pushes both of her fingers together, sort of as like a nervous tick.
That's it.
Okay.
You know,
Go ahead.
now that we know that Mr. Julian over here is writing smut, I'm not really care for being in his stories. I don't know about you guys.
Whatever.
Trust me, Mr. D&D Dungeon Master person, I don't know what to put you in yet. With your dice.
Well, good, because you can't put a god in any story.
Oh, trust me, I have put multiple gods in my story. Powerful gods and the powerful passion.
I'm never going to read any story you make. The dark wine colored hair girl says, and she sort of turns away from you.
That is fine, as long as you pass by it at your local bookstore. You'll see it right front when you walk in.
Yeah,
Or do
right in the
you...
family section, I'm sure.
The more the
Very,
merrier.
very big, open, very, very advertised.
None of you people know true art. You guys are probably too busy playing your Fortnite.
Yes, I know exactly how you feel, the ultimate critic pipes up.
At least someone's on my side.
All right. Unless anybody else has anything to add. My voice is already killing me. I'm gonna have to get a refill on water here in a minute. But moving on to the next person. A wire-thin, delicate pair of glasses matches this slim boy's figure. His hair seems oddly stylish when compared to the rest of his demeanor, an exotic snow white that nearly matches his lab coat, neatly combed in some places and wild in others, though still altogether rounded in shape. In black dye and exotic font, the word rhyme is written across his bangs at a slight angle, upwards, on one side. Directly underneath it, though, upside down, is the word reason. My name is Magnus, and I'm the ultimate mad scientist. And he sort of slaps both of his hands together and begins rubbing them.
What?
The ultimate mad scientist, what is there to understand?
So are you the reason that put us in these pods?
No, I wouldn't be here with you if I was.
That logic makes sense. So,
I mean,
Mr. Mad
does it?
Scientist,
Mm-hmm.
what do you have in your trunk?
Well, I have this strange, he pulls out the bear-themed backpack, the black and white themed backpack that you all seem to have. I found this. It seems to have some thick-plated inserts for some reason. I have this. He pulls out a strange bear-themed tablet. Again, it's a black and white color scheme. And my lab coat and my glasses, and, well, that's literally it, unfortunately.
So no mad scientist devices. All right.
No, I must have left my ray gun somewhere.
Right. Well, okay, guess we're not using any mad scientist stuff to get out of here today.
All right. Did anybody have anything else they wanted to add? Otherwise, we'll move
What's
to
your
these...
name?
Magnus Watson.
Magnus Watson. Okay. More like Madness Watson.
1 second. Okay. Give me like 30 seconds. I gotta talk to one of you real quick.
Okie dokie. God damn it, Denzel.
Okay, I'm back. All right. Did anybody have anything else they wanted to add, or?
Nope.
All right. Okay, moving on. So, a dark curtain of red wine-colored hair hides half of this girl's beautiful yet morose face. Like soft, pure silk whose color and brilliance was devoured, it hangs all the way to her hips. The one eye that you can see is colored like a spool of amber, wrapped tightly around some kind of dark void. Thick hoops of bronze-colored metal seem to pierce through her flesh on the undersides of both arms, 3 on each forearm, from which a half-dozen puppets, both wooden and paper, seem to hang by their strings. The color of her clothes, Allison's like, no, the bitch I've been talking to.
No, the puppets.
The color of her clothes is reminiscent of the feathers of a dove, a white tank top and white skirt that stops just above her knees, contrasting with a pair of black shoes and black tights. The tank top seems to have a red splash-like pattern on the left side under the arm, and the skirt seems to have a ring of smaller paper puppets hanging down from it. The puppets somehow seem to dance as she walks. And, she gives her introduction. My name is, fuck. What is her last name? There it is.
Her name is Fuck.
Yes, her name is Fuck, the ultimate puppeteer. No, just kidding. My name is Marionette Du Hollow, ultimate puppeteer. And
Wait.
she sort of just gives a wave.
Puppeteer? Like, you do puppet shows?
Yes, that's exactly
Ah.
right. And
Uh,
as she says that, she takes out some of her puppets and begins sort of they sort of dance in the air. It's so good actually. It's almost like they defy gravity sometimes. She pulls out the puppets that she pulls out. They're paper. One looks like a knight with a sword, and the other a large dragon with it's paper, but fire shoots out of his mouth. And they sort of begin fighting for a couple seconds as she wows the crowd.
I sit down in front of her and just watch.
Couple seconds, or about 30 seconds go by, and she gives a bow and puts the puppets back in her backpack. They were tiny.
An excellent performance. Something that could definitely enhance any game that I run.
I've been playing with puppets most of my life.
Nothing wrong about that. The performance was very lovely.
She sort of just nods. You can tell that she's used to being the center of attention, but she's not necessarily used to interacting from an outward perspective. It's pretty obvious right off the bat that she is how you'd say introverted. All right. Did anybody have anything else to add, or are we going to good to
Hearing
go on
and
to
clapping obnoxiously.
just like random like hardcore clapping?
Yep.
All right. All right. I'm gonna go back through the characters because I don't think I said all of their last names. So Howitzer Van Fry, Marionette Du Hollow, Crash Enburn, I know, fuck me, right? Castanet Adeline Fisher, that one's my favorite. Grace McFay, Harshman Castigator, Juliet Lovewain. Yeah, if you want me to write some of these down, let me know. I can do it real quick. Juliet Lovewain, Fantasia Allwell, and Magnus Watson. And then we move to the last. Let me just pull up his stuff. All right. A soft, fleeting smile, swept away by some unknown trauma, decorates this boy's face, juxtaposed with a blank stare. Nervous hands tightly grasp a pair of binoculars, flushing red and pulling them tightly against the cord around his neck. Safari-style clothes fit comfortably over a short-statured frame. Atop a nest of brown, almost russet-colored hair sits a bucket-shaped hat. A thick pair of canvas hiking boots rounds out his adventurous, albeit unassuming look, and he gives a short introduction. My name is Robin Hunter. I'm the ultimate birder. And he sort of holds his binoculars up a little bit. Oh, sorry, that's lingo. I guess it would make more sense if I said bird watcher.
I almost thought you said burglar.
No, it's professionally it's called birder, but bird watcher is the more known term.
Ah, I see.
Interesting. Why would they choose a name so close to the word murder?
That's a good question. I don't know. He looks down at his hands in his binocular. Am I a murderer? His
I
hands
highly,
begin shaking.
Have you ever killed a bird?
Yeah, with one stone once.
Oh my.
Well, I'm sorry to
There was
say.
two of them.
I'm sorry to say, but you're a mass murderer.
Oh no. Oh god, what have I done? He drops to his knees and begins crying.
really?
Way to go, David.
To be
You
fair,
made him
buddy, we've all
cry.
eaten chicken. Just slapping him on the back.
Yeah, that doesn't seem to help. He starts crying harder.
was not expecting that kind of response.
I've eaten so much chicken.
You just called them a murderer. What is wrong with you?
I've probably killed thousands. Oh my god.
Clearly, the kid doesn't know sarcasm.
I'm never going to Kentucky again.
Let's not say it hasn't stopped me.
All right. Robin,
Yes.
eating chicken doesn't make you a murderer.
Oh, thank goodness.
Because chicken is just delicious.
What about beef?
Nope.
His
natural
eyes
order.
widen. His eyes widen. Oh
Natural
no.
order.
Now, if you
Hey,
start,
we still haven't heard your name yet. Points at Bud. Definitely knows his name.
I don't have to say
Just
anything till
for-
my lawyer gets here.
I don't
I
think
don't
no
think
one.
anyone's getting in here.
Can
Points
you
at
afford a
door.
lawyer?
What was that?
Can you afford a lawyer?
I know
My
I
name's
can.
Bud Bailey, and I'm an alcoholic.
Oh, that sounds rehearsed.
Oh, so you're one of those types. Sorry, this is not your typical AA meeting.
I will pull a bottle of whiskey out of my out of my bin.
Right,
Wait.
I skipped your introduction, didn't I? Because the name
You
change
sure
threw me
did.
off. Right. Thank you for reminding me. Allow me to read your appearance. All right, 1 second. This is gonna take the 1 ounce of water I have left. God, I can't believe you're about to make me say the word YOLO. I can't blame you. I'm the one who wrote it, but you know. All right. Eyes like reams of dirt and gravel trapped behind paned glass seem to unfocus and readjust constantly as if trying to tether a blank gaze tightly to a world that isn't always there. A gray tank top bearing black ribbonous ink that reads, "Forgive me for this, but it reads #YOLO," is stretched tautly over a wall of muscle, and a silver flask attached to a chain dangles freely from a pair of black pants. Brown puffy hair, the dull earthy color of which matches his eyes, sticks out from underneath a red cap that is worn backwards. This boy seems taller than the rest of you, perhaps older as well. He seems to more or less be the life of the party wherever he goes. Whether that's a good thing or a bad thing is open to interpretation. So that's his. Also, Allison is grabbing me water. Thank you. So she's going to be AFK for like a couple seconds.
For clarification, they're sunglasses.
Sorry, what was that?
I said for clarification, they're sunglasses.
Okay, yeah. Also a pair of sunglasses. Also, I have water again. Yay, thank you.
So we have a drunk among us.
Seems like it.
There's one more thing I think we're overlooking. And you'll notice Marionette looks over to the pod that never opened.
Look, I couldn't figure out how to get his open.
Hmm.
Let's take a.
I take
Go
my
ahead.
sword and just whack it.
Yes, that will shatter the glass.
Do you hit it hard enough to break your foam sword, or...
Oh, no, never.
Okay. Yeah, you whack it, I guess. Does anybody investigate closer?
I
Yeah,
will look
Magnus,
at.
maybe you should give it a crack. You're a mad scientist, right?
What do you want me to do?
I don't know. Figure out a way to open it.
Ooh, Magnus,
Um,
howitzer. Idea.
Oh?
yes, and you see Howitzer begin rubbing his hands together. Oh, if it
All right.
involves an explosion, count me in.
I take a shot of whiskey directly from the bottle.
Now,
And Bud is day
Okay.
drinking. Love it.
okay, now I got some propane and propane accessories. Do you think we can make a cutting torch and get into this thing or out of the room?
Well, you see Magnus walk over. He begins inspecting. Sorry, he begins inspecting it. I'll be honest, I don't even know what kind of metal this is. It seems solid. Um, let me think. I don't really know if propane would be able to cut through here. We could
Alright.
give it a shot, but
Are you talking about
keep
the
in
door
mind.
or the pod?
Oh, well, I haven't inspected the door. I thought you were talking about the pod.
Oh, I was talking about both. My bad.
I can investigate the door in a minute, but I don't think you're going to be getting through this pod with a, well, homemade plasma cutter.
Shucks.
Oh, hey, hang on a minute. He looks through the glass. Oh my God, there's someone in there.
I mean, yeah, I kind of figured
Yes.
everyone else came out of one.
He sort of crouches and begins looking at the controls. Eh, He sort of very cautiously begins typing on it. You see him sort of investigating it. Does anybody do anything in the meantime?
I watch over, and I think it's that button.
No, that looks like if I push that, it'll shut off the oxygen.
No, I think it's that button over there.
That looks like a self-destruct button. I don't know why that's here.
Then how are we supposed to get this thing open?
Just
I
let
know.
him work.
I know. When in doubt, press all the buttons at once.
Normally,
Well.
that is my modus operandi, but someone's life is at stake. And, normally that doesn't stop me, but I've got, 14 of you staring at me while I'm doing this?
God, if you hit the wrong button, all our lives could be at stake.
I put my arm
Wait.
around his shoulder. Listen, I'll block it. Just do what you need to do.
You'll block it.
Yeah, nobody will see. Nobody will know.
Right.
Is looking right at you too.
Look, I want to survive this so that way I can continue writing my most wonderful work.
All right. Just to get it out of the way, do any of you look in the pod or at the base of the controls?
I'll look in the pod.
Okay. Are you also looking at the controls or just in the pod?
I'm looking at the buttons.
I've
looking at
already
the
looked at the
buttons.
controls on a different pod, so I'm just looking in the window.
Okay, let me find the very, very last character sheet. 1 second. God, I have so much shit on my screen. All right, let me take let me take a glass of water. Let me take a drink of my glass of water here.
A drink of your glass?
A
That
drink
sounds
of my
pain-
glass. It's very
That sounds
painful. My throat's
painful.
bleeding. Help me.
Oh no.
No.
Okay, so paragraph time. Well, not really, but okay. So, peering through the indestructible glass of the pod, you see a girl not yet conscious. Bubbles of life periodically escape the edges of her breathing apparatus before bursting into a silent oblivion. Her chest rises and falls in a slow rhythm all its own, causing her straight brown hair to dance and writhe in its suspended animation. A vibrant butterfly-shaped hair clip is sheathed into her bangs. The clip looks equal parts expensive and beautiful, as if it was fashioned from the brightest rainbow on the darkest day. Shades of red, blue, green, indigo, and violet coalesce inside its sleek yet fragile wings. Glass was never meant to look so strong. So that's what you see as you look in. David, you said you were looking around the controls.
Yes.
You would see, because they all have names, you would see the name Choharu Mori, which is where I'm just going to brag for a minute at the title, but memento mori in literature and writing is something that it's a sort of confirmation or reminder of the inevitability of death. So,
Hmm.
if I may say so.
That's why
But
everybody
anyways,
uses a lot.
that is what you see. It appears that she's alive. So we've got Magnus looking at the controls, sort of sizing up, seeing what he can do. David, you are helping in quotation marks. Is anybody else doing anything?
I am actively trying to push buttons, but I assume people are stopping me.
Yeah, Magnus at the very least would be knocking your hands away.
Alright, I walk up to Sean and put him in fuzzy pink handcuffs to make him stop.
You walk up to who?
Or Bud Bailey. Sorry.
Something tells me that's not the first time he's. You know what? Never mind.
I'm just glad that Julian isn't looking that way.
Oh,
Yeah,
trust
that'd be
me.
good
I
ideas.
resist up until I see the handcuffs and then assume he's a cop.
Oh my god.
Hands behind your back, please.
Yes, sir.
Well, damn, this was easy.
Julian turns around to see you guys. See him, Bud Bailey with handcuffs and they're fuzzy.
From the background, you just hear.
Oh my god. I hate her.
So what do I see looking at this control panel?
All right, 1 second. I think
Wasn't Magnus looking at the control panel?
Yeah, he's sort of trying to figure it out. God, I have so much shit on my screen. Give me there it is. There's my master list with literally everything on it. All right, so I read this to Allison. You pretty much see the same thing. I read it to Allison when she was looking at Bud Bailey's pod. But let me scroll up here. As you take a closer look at the pod, the outside seems sleek, smooth, and tough. Near the bottom, only a foot or two above the floor, and you'll notice that because it's so low, Watson is sort of having a difficulty getting himself that low. He's practically sitting as he does this. But near the bottom, only a foot or two above the floor, is an assortment of controls, gauges, a vent, displays of various metrics such as power usage, ports for plugins, and a screen that reveals the occupant's name. So as you all begin investigating, Denzel, you have your stuff on you, right? You have your backpack on you in particular?
Yes, and I think all I have is 2 books. Yeah, that's cool.
Oh, you've got more than that. You feel
Oh.
something in your backpack begin moving on its own.
I freak out and then just drop it.
You drop it. All right.
First time.
I look to the backpack as it's buzzing around. Nope, don't want to know what's in there.
It does begin moving. There's a lot of thrashing and kicking. Whatever's in it is definitely on the smaller size. Your backpack pops open, and I'm gonna need water to do this. 1 second.
Nope, bad touch, bad touch.
God,
Don't
my
need to
throat's
know
already
what.
dying.
Don't need to know what's in the Smutty Rider's backpack.
So
Trust me, I
hear a
would not have
voice.
anything vibrated in there. I don't dig this stuff.
Nick.
Who is?
I'm never gonna get tired of that.
I turn around and try to see who's making that noise, but I can't. I keep missing it.
Oh, okay, yeah. Never mind then. So finally, something finally kicks the top of the bag open, like how it closes, and you hear a voice, and it sort of cuts through, and all of a sudden, a black and white small bear, you all know who it is, sort of pops out. And as he does, he springs to life and he leaps high into the air. He's doing flips and he lands in the middle of the ring of pods and takes a bow. A drum crescendo plays from somewhere. And I cannot do a Monokuma voice. I will do my best. This will change constantly. I'm garbage. I apologize. Let me, again, take a fucking drink of water because this is going to kill what's left in my throat. Don't clip that for the love of God.
Throat
Okay.
gone.
No. All right, so you hear a voice. And I'm Monokuma! Good morning, everyone! I hope you all slept well. Wow, such pretty faces. I guess 200 years of beauty sleep will do that for you, huh? And he, as he says 200 years of beauty sleep, he looks at Ian with his box of kittens, and you can see a question mark sort of forming above his head.
I take another sip of my whiskey. Question.
Yeah,
I back away from him and slowly pick up the cats and
I-
take them away.
yeah,
I
that
got-
is not mine.
I walk over to Bud Bailey. Can I have some of that, please?
ID.
What do you mean 200 years?
He begins counting on his paws. Well, 200 comes after 199.
That's not what she meant.
No shit.
Are you telling us we've been
Oh,
asleep?
right. You all have amnesia, don't you?
What?
None of you really remember anything, do you? Don't worry. Things will come back slowly. Side effect of a long nap in those stasis pods. We'll get you up to speed eventually, but God, my voice keeps going up and down. I cannot do Monokuma's voice for the
Keep
fucking life of
going.
me.
It's fine.
You
All right.
got it.
We'll get you up to speed eventually, but for your health and sanity, I'd rather not start bombarding you with things you probably won't remember right away. Oh, well, that's strange. You know you're all 3 months early, right? This won't do. He notices the closed pod. Well, at least some of you follow directions. Now, let's see how things are coming along. I'll also need to download the blueprint. And he sort of walks over. He sort of pushes Magnus out of the way, and he produces a cord and sort of plugs himself into the closed pod, inserting one end of the cord into his mouth with a click. And he'll be there for a minute, so either talks amongst
Hold-
yourselves or...
Hold on.
I think I seen this in a book once.
Did that doll toy bear just plug himself into the machine?
Julian, why was that in your backpack?
I do not know. Trust me, that is not mine. The real question is, we've been here for like 20 years. Oh, I had a book.
200. Not
200.
20. 200.
200? Oh my god, my book sales are probably falling with the lap of absence.
That's what you're concerned about right now?
And I was just supposed to release a new book next year.
I'm just happy my cats are okay.
How your
you-
cat survived 200 years, I'll never understand.
They're good
You-
cats. Do you want one?
Oh god, no.
Well, I guess I'll never finish that campaign now.
I'm afraid that thing might eat me. Please get it away.
I
Oh,
guess
come on. His
guess-
name's Dog.
What?
The cat's name is Dog.
You
You
name
really
it?
named that cat Dog.
The other one is named Cat.
Of course, otherwise you'd get them confused.
God forbid the two animals are conjoined together.
Well, do you want to know the other 10
I
cats'
can make that
names?
happen, actually.
Nope.
Sorry,
Uh,
that's not. I'm feeling like that's not helping the situation. I'll shut up now.
You hurt the cats, I will end you.
Oh dear.
200 years.
You hear a ding, and Monokuma unclicks himself from the pod. That's right, 200 years, 200 whole years.
Yeah, at least my guacamole didn't go bad.
Why?
I have no idea why the rest of you woke up early. As for why, I'll tell you a little bit, but well, I'm not going to bombard you with a lot of information right now. That'll come later. So, as for why, you were placed here as a safeguard against the extinction of mankind. You're some of the best mankind has to offer. And he looks at Julian, and then he looks at Ian, and then he looks at Bud. You were some of the best mankind has to offer.
I look
People
at
quite
Julian,
often take their...
Ian
Go ahead.
in Bud. Really, the best.
quite often take their most valuable treasure and keep it safe inside a vault. You all should feel honored.
I do feel honored that I am a treasure to this world. Thank you. But I have to get back out to my people. They have to know more of my stories, more of my passion, more of the lust.
Oh, I got bad news for you.
What's that?
That's what I'm afraid of.
Well, this is going to be your home forever. Anyways, my name is Monokuma, and I'm your caretaker. Your care bear, if you will. Now, on to the itinerary, if you will.
Hold on. Home forever?
First, I'll give you all a tour. Although I doubt things are finished at the
Immediately
moment.
begins screaming and runs to the door and starts banging on it.
He's handcuffed.
Calm down.
That is
So
very
he's
warranted.
backwards begging on it.
That is very warranted, but I have a more important question. You said
Mhm.
forever home, but you also mentioned we were put here to prevent mankind's extinction. What happened to mankind?
Again, I'll go over everything at a later time.
No, now.
Later today.
I think we need
I
answers
feel
now.
like we need to start with now, or we're not going to be able to pay attention to your lovely tour.
Okay, I can tell you, I guess, but some of you probably won't remember. Well, let's see. You were all ushered in here by a group called Savior. Save all very important orphan raspberries? Or was it rejects? I can't remember.
I am not a reject.
I am not
No,
an
no,
orphan.
no. As far as all the rest of mankind goes, he just sort of shrugs. They didn't make it. Sorry about that.
My
How?
adoring fans are all dead.
Well, you know, the apocalypse.
And that was...
A lot of death for everybody involved.
The event! What caused this apocalypse?
He puts his finger up to his mouth, and as he does this, he begins thinking, and as he begins thinking, his head sort of glitches a little bit, almost like a static shock goes through it, and a small amount of smoke sort of begins pouring out of one of his ears. I'm Monokuma, and I'm your caretaker.
Well, we're not going to get any answers from that.
No, he shorted a circuit.
Oh, that's strange. His eyes sort of glow a little brighter as you see he seems to be crunching some numbers in his head. You know you're all 3 months early, right? This won't do. He notices the closed pod. Well, at least some of you follow directions.
Oh, God.
He's broken.
We're
Is
never
that-
getting out of here.
Now, onto the itinerary, if you will.
Magnus.
First.
Magnus. This might be more up your alley. You want to figure out what this bear is?
He
Anything
sneezes.
mechanical is just getting thrown in there.
All right, so I should clarify. I deal with mad scientists. I can make laser guns. I can take a look at it, but I'm all right. Let's see here.
I mean,
He go ahead.
I mean, you're probably just the best qualified here.
I mean, a talking toy bear. Let's see, that seems kind of a mad scientist type of creation.
He reaches for Monokuma, grabs him. Monokuma seems very offended when this happens. He looks him over, he looks him in the ear, sets him down. Magnus goes, I don't know shit about fuck. I've never seen anything like it before.
Well, at least you're honest.
Yeah.
First, I'll give you all a tour, Monokuma continues talking. Although I doubt things are finished at the moment. But more on that later. After the tour, you'll all have some free time. After that, we'll have a large banquet where I'll bring all of you up to snuff on things. Now, he looks and he sees the big metal door. Now about that metal door. And he slowly waddles over to it.
Ramming it.
What was that?
Ramming it.
You're ramming it?
He's
Yeah.
been the whole time.
Right, beating his fists on it.
You
His
know,
handcuffed fists.
if I
Shoulders,
didn't
head.
want to hear him repeat himself for a third time, I'd ask him again.
I think
Kind
we
of
need.
why I stopped.
I think we need to get this train moving so that we could start figuring out a way how to get out of here.
I agree.
Now then, your lifetime of bliss, happiness, and beautiful memories starts now! How do I open that damn door again? Right, you just have to speak the password. Which... Oh no. I forgot the freaking password! Don't stand there, help me out, try everything! Otherwise we're all going to starve down here! What will my wife and kids think? Oh, this is bad! Very,
You
very
have a
bad!
wife and kids?
Not anymore if I don't get the fuck out of here!
Okay.
Password.
The door
Ugh.
remains shut.
All right, howitzer.
1, 2, 3,
What do
4.
we do?
Door remains shut. Just start screaming things. We'll get it eventually. I know I made it easy to remember.
Open sesame.
David, you got it. David, as you say open sesame, congratulations on completing what's probably the first puzzle of the game.
Oh, where did I
So-
look at these?
You forgot the password to the door was open.
Open sesame. It's not open, it's open sesame.
Yeah, open sesame.
So as you speak that, David, a large, thunderous groan is suddenly heard before dying back into a somber shade of eerie silence. After a few brief yet torturous moments, the massive door begins sliding open with the sound of screaming rusted metal. What greets you behind the pale ink-colored void of darkness that the door unleashes appears to be a single caged elevator. The elevator itself looks almost twisted and warped, hopeless even, like something you'd find long abandoned at the bottom of a mine shaft. It too is colored black. From somewhere high above, however, a beautiful light appears to transfix everything in a bath of heavenly radiance. Looking around, if you choose to do so, you'll notice your companion's eyes washed over with that singular ray of sunshine, as if their hearts and imaginations were trying to grasp at a happiness just out of reach in this cold, dark place. And Monokuma breathes a sigh of relief as the door finally opens fully. I'm really glad I made that password easy to remember. And he gives you a thumbs up, David.
You owe us some answers.
And I'll explain everything. And he points towards the elevator. And he motions for the entire group to follow.
I want to
Right.
know who the first one to go on the elevator is.
Probably Monokuma, because he's leading.
After Monokuma.
Yep.
Bud, do you run up there before Monokuma?
I was banging on the door. I wanted in.
That is fair. All right, 1 second. I need water. Holy shit, my voice. Okay, so
Nick just sounded like a chain smoker for a second.
I know. Everybody's voice that I can do is like a fucking asthmatic chain smoker. Monokuma, asthmatic chain smoker. Like 13 of the 15 NPCs, whatever, asthmatic chain smoker. Okay, good point. I need a break. I'm assuming everybody else probably needs a little break.
Yeah, let's take a few minute break. Fill up on
Yeah,
water
I need
and
to
whatnot.
refill my water and shit, yeah.
Uh-huh.
All right, chat. We'll be back in a couple minutes.
All right, yeah, my voice is dying.
Oh,
I
no.
actually meant to practice the Monokuma voice, but just with everything going on, I did not have time.
It started
All right, and we're back.
Yay! I have been hydrating. So yeah, take that for what you will. All right, so since we're starting again, Sean, you said you were running to the elevator, correct?
Yep.
Oh, Denzel, oh the static.
No, that's Monokuma.
Yeah, that's actually I love that.
He's,
That's a good idea.
he's glitching.
You just hear the glitching noises coming from Monokuma's head. Anyway, Sean, as you run to the elevator, there is a door. Like the elevator itself has a door. It's like a large caged elevator. Do you open the door with your your pink fuzzy handcuffed hands?
Yeah, I feel like I might have to roll for it though.
Um, no, you
I'm
can if you want.
inebriated
That's fair.
in
Yeah, go ahead.
handcuffs.
Are the
That's
handcuffs in
true.
front of you or behind you?
They
He
were
said,
in.
"Put your hands behind your back." So I
Oh,
rolled behind.
Oh, right. For some reason,
Disadvantage.
I thought it was in front of him. Yeah. Go ahead and roll.
How many am I rolling?
It's a good question. How many do you think you should roll? You're drunk. You're inebriated. It's a pretty rusty elevator. Roll 3. Dear God, you really want that elevator door open. Somehow you manage it. It takes you a little bit, and by the time you open it, the rest of the party is caught up with you. So for the rest of the party, Monokuma leads your large group towards the sizable elevator. As you get there, Bud, he manages to open the elevator door. It opens with a bitter squeak of protest, and Monokuma gestures for all of you to step inside, and he steps inside also. What do you all do? Do you step inside? Do you try to make a run for it? Do you, I don't know,
I am
start a
already
start a
inside.
rave? All right. And the rest of you, I'm assuming.
Same.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, so the door closes with another groan. There's sort of a handle, if you want to call it that. It is currently in the down position, and it's again very short to the floor. Monokuma grasps it and pushes the lever, is the word I was looking for. He pushes the lever up, and as the elevator springs to life, if you can truly call it that, a small argument pops up and quickly subsides, with Harshman getting the last word, unless any of you decide to interject. Um, and the argument sort of goes as follows, with Harshman, of course. He says, anybody with a solid 8th grade education want to take a stab at how many health and safety violations this piece of junk has? And Crash retorts, why, looking for a more educated opinion, are you? And Harshman responds in kind without missing a beat. Yes, but unfortunately all I have is yours. Sometimes we have to settle. I'm sure you've heard those words before, haven't you, Mr. First Place? And Crash doesn't respond. Sean.
Yeah.
As the elevator begins moving, you feel a tug on your shirt. The frail but hauntingly beautiful Grace leans over, trying to get your attention, and she whispers, I know you're in handcuffs, but you'll be able to break up any fights, right?
Yeah, I break up fights all the time.
She again looks down towards your handcuffs. She doesn't really seem very assured, but you are the biggest and most muscular person in the elevator, so it was worth a shot. Did you have anything else you wanted to add?
How tough are the handcuffs, by the way?
Standard handcuffs.
Standard handcuffs? Okay.
Yeah.
They were pink fuzzy ones, so sometimes those
Ian,
those
were
hurt a
they
little bit.
were they fake handcuffs or were they real pink fuzzy handcuffs?
I feel like it's funnier if they're real.
Listen, these handcuffs were made for a very specific purpose, okay? And that is to restrain. The more I talk about this, the worse it's gonna get. So yeah, they're real
Restrain means-
handcuffs.
Restrain means stay there.
Yeah, so a bodybuilder could theoretically break them, like the chain holding them, but you'd have to be very, very tough. That would require one hell of a roll to do, especially because they're behind you and as opposed to in front of you. You could try, but with very, very, very little chances of success.
I feel like the actions would be different if they were plastic handcuffs or metal handcuffs. If they're metal, I'm not going to try.
Okay. All right, so moving on, because we're moving down the list. Ian, Howitzer, the boy with starbursted hair and bandages galore, is standing next to you when he suddenly throws up both fists violently and yells out, "All right! Hey, you wouldn't happen to have, like, an actual lighter on you, would you? I don't know whatever sad dud filled my loot chest, but they forgot to give me, the ultimate pyrotechnician, a goddamned lighter."
I have a lighter. Why?
May I have it? Eh,
I
his
may.
eyes sort of light up.
I'm willing to light something for you.
May I have the lighter?
I'm willing to light something for you.
He just gives a sad sigh. Never mind. Nobody ever trusts me. And, unless you have anything else you want to add, we'll move on.
I hate you for that line, Nick.
All right, so Denzel.
Yes.
I'm sorry. Julian, that's going to take me some getting used to. Same with Bud. I need to stop calling Bud Sean. Sean is Bud. Denzel is Julian. Julian, as the elevator continues to rise, Harshman turns towards you. So, you're a romance novelist of sort? I'd be honored to critique your work sometime.
I would like that. I need more people. I need more of the good word to be spread out to the masses, or I should say what used to be masses. Now that the world is gone.
I consider myself a pretty prominent connoisseur, if you will, of more obscure writings, shall we say.
So you have considered other books as well.
You hear someone whisper, "He totally looks up porn."
He totally reads smut.
I got some for you if you really need some. Get the magazine.
You just hear Marionette. What the fuck is going on in this elevator?
You don't want to know.
Well, sir, if you want to critique any of my books, let's see, which one was a good one? From the two I have now, these are pretty good. Let me see.
I just remembered Nick wrote the books.
Yes, I did. I'm trying to remember the name because there's
Wait,
two of the.
you're Nick?
Yes, I am.
Denzel is Julian, who is Nick.
Yes.
The plot thickens, if you know what I mean.
That's his author name, you know.
Vic.
Yeah,
These are very two
that's his
thick
author
books.
name, his
His
pen name.
I have two books right here. The two books that I have in my hand right now, if you want to take a read at them while we're sitting here figuring out what we need to do. The
Well,
one right here.
I would have to sit down and study them in detail.
Oh,
And you hear a, "Oh!"
I look again. I still see no one.
It's gonna be a running joke every time you just look back angrily, like, who the fuck keeps doing that?
Anyways, I have two books right here. Would you like to read? One of them, which I treasure dearly. It's called The Star Maiden: The Push and Pull of Gravity's Dogma.
That sounds. I'll have to read both of them sometime.
And also this book right here, The Rogue's Tale: The Big Sack. A classic.
I fucking hate myself. Oh,
Big sack, you
God.
say? I know about
I'm done.
those.
I want out of this elevator.
Whatever you wish
God.
one you choose, tell me, and I'll let you loan it. Take your time, read every detail, and let me know how it is.
He nods. And unless anybody has anything else to add, Allison,
Oh no.
Crash leans over to you and either jokes or flirts, it's hard to tell which, perhaps both, as he says, "So, I hear your talent is catching feelings."
That's one way to interpret that, I guess.
He sort of just gives you a smile. He doesn't really say anything else unless you have something to add or anybody else has anything to add.
No, I'm too busy worrying that someone's gonna find out that I also have a lighter.
Oh yeah, she has that.
Oh,
No, you don't know.
right,
You don't
right.
know.
Wait, did I give that to someone?
Did
No.
Yeah, you're talking about a lighter? No, you did not give a lighter to anybody.
Oh, I thought I did when David went to like sparklers. No, he used the flint dice. My bad.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I'm assuming you don't have anything else to add to that. David, out of the corner of your eye, you notice Juliet looking at you. Her hands clasped very tightly together in front of her. If you choose to meet her gaze, either on purpose or accidentally on instinct, her eyes will shift suddenly to her feet and her cheeks flush. She seems to want to strike up a conversation with you, but is too shy to do so. You can either choose to ignore her.
I close the notebook that I was reading and take a step forward to her. Is there anything I can do for you?
Oh, you're a dungeon master.
Why, yes. I was just
I'd-
reading through what I think was one of my old stories. It's my handwriting, after all, but I can't remember much.
She sort of smiles and then she suddenly, very suddenly bows as she sort of lets out, I want you to show me your dungeon.
I immediately turned to look at this.
My eyes turn to see if this could be another novel.
I'm gonna elbow Crash and just start looking.
Sure. I guess once we figure out what's going on here, I can show you a good dungeon or two.
Oh my god.
I have,
Oh my god.
I have to write this.
All right, but
This
I
could
got
be my.
something for you. I got something for your dungeon.
You'll notice her eyes start watering as she sort of yells out, "Thank you very much. I'd love nothing more." Monokuma seems to be ignoring all of this commotion, by the way.
That's out of character for him.
I go back to reading my notebook.
All right, unless anybody else has any conversations that they wanted to get out of the way, the elevator ride starts to near its end. The light from above seems to swallow everything, and you begin to hear music echoing from somewhere. Warm, dulcet tones of rich velvet carry a happy melody across the still air as the elevator finally pulls itself up above ground, coming to a rest in the center of a slightly raised, circular concrete platform overlooking what appears to be a large amusement park, placed delicately in the middle of a large field and fenced in on all sides by a thick burst of green life, trees and vegetation to be precise. God, there's like something in my eye. All this bullshit. God, my eye burns. Why does my eye burn?
You have
Oh, no.
bullshit in your eye.
Something like that.
I have to write this.
Oh God, no. I have to be very careful or I'm going to be the next book he writes.
Yes.
So,
Breaking down walls. The fourth wall.
someone said something and they said the word DM. I think it was you earlier, and I was like, what is he talking about me? And then you said David, and I was like, right, ultimate DM.
Yes, he's the
That's
ultimate.
It's gonna confuse the shit out of me. All right, so as the elevator finally pulls itself above ground, the door swings open, and Monokuma says, "All right, I'd like to be the very first to welcome you all to your new forever home, Happy Bear Amusement Park. You're all going to live here for the rest of your lives. Oh, don't worry. A great expense was taken to ensure that your stay here is nothing short of paradise. I think I mentioned this already, but you all are about 3 months early, so unfortunately most of the park is currently closed with only the center and the very south of the park currently open. Don't worry though, you'll notice a lot of construction bears hard at work 24/7 between their mindless brawn and my administrative ability to make other people work really hard when I don't want to. They'll have everything done by the time your friend wakes up. Until then, however, the east, west, and north areas of the park will remain closed off. Sorry about that. Now, I think I promised a tour, right? Left, right, left, right, left. Do any of you say anything for a moment or have any conversations you wanted to get out of the way?
I'm
So
looking for a merry-go-round.
So an amusement park is the ideal forever home? Man, I wish I was on an island instead.
I would-
Somewhere deep or somewhere far away. Fucking foreshadowing.
Oh, I wish I was on an island too. That sounds lovely.
Nick, you're muted.
Oh, someone pipes up like, I wish I was in an underground school.
What?
Or I guess it wasn't underground, but you know what I mean.
I will reach over and uncuff Bud Bailey.
Oh, you brave man. All right, Bud, you are uncuffed.
I'm running around looking for a merry-go-round.
There
Okay.
you go.
So just to sort of clarify, the theme park or the amusement park rather, is in front of you, but it's still a ways away. It is off in the distance. It's not like
Neat.
directly
I'm
in front of
running
you.
there.
All right. Do you sort of take off on your own then?
Yes.
All right. Well, Bud pretty much runs full speed. Bud, you can decide if you hear this or not and what you do in response. But suddenly, a high-pitched, painfully shrill voice cuts through the air. Oh, Monokuma! And Monokuma
No.
begins sweating profusely and instantly. Damn it! Why couldn't she sleep forever? Monokuma mutters under his breath. From seemingly out of nowhere, 3 more strange bears appear. And as I said, Bud, you can decide whether you hear this and if you keep running or decide to give up on
There was a large shrill screech thing, so I stop and turn around.
All right. So, from seemingly out of nowhere, 3 more strange bears appear. The first one, with a high-pitched, shrill voice, appears to wear a pink sundress and has donned a blonde wig. An exotic Monokuma-themed purse is constantly hanging off her left arm. The second one, and the shortest of the new trio, wears a red baseball cap backwards and always seems to have a Monokuma-themed baseball bat resting on his shoulder. A plain white t-shirt with black text that reads Shin Wrecker finishes off his ensemble. The third one is dressed as goth as humanly or barely? No, not barely. As absolutely goth as possible. A black skirt fastened with wicked chains, purple and black shoulder-length hair that may or may not be a wig, and finally a black shirt with white text that reads hashtag your dad's cooler than mine, don't change my mind. And as you see these bears, the high-pitched, painfully shrill voice returns. There's your father! And Monokuma seems to cringe at this. Mana mia, 200 years of beauty sleep hasn't even scratched the surface, has it? You promised the kids and I a nice, undisturbed family vacation, but everything's being renovated. And Monokuma replies, I'm working on it! And by that I mean I'm making other people work on it. Everyone, meet my family. That is my wife, Monamiya. That's my son, Champ. And my daughter, Fifi. And if none of you have anything to say, a few seconds go by, and the very short one suddenly screams out, Play ball, Dad! Not now, Champ. Daddy's working. Why don't you all go... Go ahead.
I'm just like, I'm staring all like, this bear, animatronic bear really has kids.
You were doing the same thing.
I lean over Magnus. So what about them? You think you could figure out anything about them? Because apparently they're multiplying.
Yeah, that worries me. Someone has to be building them. They can't reproduce. Not unless they're, I don't know, androids instead of robots, but that's not really possible. I'm confused as well.
I look over at Howitzer and say, "This bear fucks."
What? Howitzer slowly turns towards you. Slow eyebrow raise.
I'm interested in the little one's hat because it's similar to mine.
I mean, he's not wrong.
It's just a plain red baseball cap that he has on backwards. So yeah, as he screams out, "Play ball, Dad," Monokuma responds, "Not now, champ. Daddy's working. Why don't you all go enjoy the rides in restaurants, at least the ones that are open?" And the shrill voice cuts back. "Humph. A failure at planning as usual. Mommy will salvage this disaster. Come along, my precious children." And with that, if none of you interject, the trio of bears wanders off towards the amusement park as Monokuma breathes an uneasy sigh of relief. Ah, sorry about that. I've got to check the map I downloaded. Why don't you all talk amongst yourselves for a few minutes, then we'll start the tour. And his sweating is stopped, but he's still very exacerbated.
Where are we supposed to sleep in a museum?
That is a good question.
Why
I
an
wonder where those.
amusement park?
That doesn't bother me as much.
There's a lot of strange things going on, don't you think?
Well,
Where
we'll
where
have
we're
something to do down here before we die.
Yeah, I'm less worried about where we're going to be sleeping and more worried about the robotic bears.
I'm
Marion
more
is
worried about,
talking.
food and water too, but
I
There's
got
some food at amusement parks.
usually.
If not, I have lemons.
Lemons
We've got lemons.
that have survived 200 years.
And
Surprising, isn't it?
guacamole and chicken nuggets. I have not forgot, Ian.
I'm very scared to eat what you have on you.
I think my
You know what? Maybe if we eat it, we'll get superpowers.
Or
I'm
super sick.
confused. How is all your food fresh?
I don't know, but I have lemons and a book titled "Why You Shouldn't Accept Free Lemons." I don't know how to feel anymore.
That book has said
Can
nothing
I
but
have a
wor-
lemon?
Yeah, sure, here you go.
no, don't
And-
accept
Okay,
free
good.
lemons.
But clearly he didn't read the book.
Uh, my biggest concern though is based on what that bear said, that humanity is gone and we're what's left. Who or what is cooking food in this amusement park?
Hopefully it's
Probably
those
Or
children.
bears.
And do these mechanical bears know how to cook good?
That is a good question.
I'm getting the vibe that you're a picky eater.
No,
Well,
just don't
I know
if
what that's like,
I don't know.
Harshman says.
I don't know if I trust mechanical bears that glitch out when asking clarifying questions on what happened to humanity.
Wait, humanity or humanity?
Humanity.
Oh, okay. Oh, being in this
Yes.
place is making me hear things.
Strangely enough, the bear does kind of seem damaged, doesn't he?
Yeah. That's what I'm scared of.
All right. Unless anybody has anything to add, a few moments go by. And Monokuma turns towards the group. All right. Are we all ready for the tour?
Have nothing else to do.
You're damn right you don't. Now, first we'll head towards the entrance gate. From there, we will explore the south area, which is a theme park. Oh, what's the theme, you ask? Why, it's yours truly, Monokuma. There's rides and candy aplenty. Oh, and get this. At the end of the day, you'll get some mono coins just for having fun. Because capitalism or something. You can use those coins for the gift shop in the center area. The center area also contains housing, the official gift shop, and a large structure known as the Puzzle Tower. Now then, onward to
Wait.
the front.
Did you say there was a gift shop inside your gift shop?
No. I said the center area contains housing, the official gift shop, and a large structure known as the Puzzle Tower.
Okay.
Look, remember, he's drunk.
Yeah. We won't pay too much mind to him. Or Monokuma and his kids.
I almost wonder if somebody should pay mind to him so he doesn't end up getting himself killed on an amusement park while drunk.
If he's...
That would make for an interesting thing.
I'll have you know, our safety standards are... He pulls out a random piece of paper from somewhere. Oh, never mind. Continue.
Where'd you pull that from?
Monokuma pulled a piece of paper from his mouth.
Oh, that's disappointing.
Concern rising.
Now then, onward to the front gate. And he begins marching. Do you all follow?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nowhere else to go at the moment.
Okay. Following a dirt trail that seems to cut through the life and vegetation surrounding all of you, you will eventually reach the massive and intricate front gate of the Happy Bear Amusement Park. And I need to take a drink of water. 1 second.
Nick was
Ugh.
hoping we'd talk more.
Yeah, no, it's I underestimated exactly what this would do to my voice. Let's see. You'll eventually reach the massive and intricate front gate of the Happy Bear Amusement Park. It's about a 10-minute walk. Did any of you want to strike up any conversations or anything in that time?
No.
All right, I'm going
I
to
don't
take that
think
as a
so.
no. Oh, good.
I said no, I don't think so.
Oh, all right. So after about 10 minutes pass, you all eventually come up to a massive gate themed like Monokuma's smiling face, the actual entrance of which appears to be through his mouth. The words Happy Bear Amusement Park hang above his head like a crown. A carefree and happy tune emanates loudly from the gate itself, reaching every corner of the park and beyond. Monokuma stands in front of the gate and unleashes a smile. I'm not going to try to do his voice. My voice is dying, whatever voice I had for him. He asks, well, what do you think? Are we all ready to head in?
You know, it would look a lot cuter if it wasn't for that red eye.
He turns towards you. What's that supposed to mean?
I'm just saying, you'd be more kid-friendly if it wasn't for that eye.
He takes out a piece of paper and writes down a note and sticks it back in his mouth.
Trust me, I think the bear is taking notes.
I've noticed.
Really? What brought you to that conclusion?
Don't be sarcastic with me.
Harshman pipes up. Oh, we got an investigator over here.
We got a learned man over here.
Ah, you people are so beneath me.
Oh, good. We've got 2 critics.
I can be beneath you if you'd like.
What?
I must write this.
Oh, God. Okay. God damn it. What have I unleashed upon myself? Okay, so let me just move this around here. So I'm assuming you all head inside.
Yes.
Okay. So as you enter the South District, this area of the park is filled to the brim with everything Monokuma themed. Every ride you could possibly imagine, including the one you mentioned earlier, Bud, made real and tangible. Monokuma themed roller coasters, bumper carts, arcade, even a movie theater with Monokuma themed showings. There are also several eateries with Monokuma themed delights. Every ride or attraction you could possibly think of will exist in some form or iteration. Upon entering, you notice the inside of the amusement park is walled. Well, you would have noticed it from the outside nonetheless. From the South District, you can either leave the park or head north to the Center District. There is no other way to go. It's one of those two options. As Monokuma leads you through and shows off a few of the attractions, as far as you can tell, the rides, pretty much everything, seem to be autonomous. Was there anything anybody wanted to talk about or do before the party moves to the center of the park?
I'm on the merry-go-round.
You are on the merry-go-round.
Yep.
You know, I honestly think it might be better just to leave him there for a while. He seems happy.
I agree.
He seems like he's entertained himself very well.
Also, someone clearly is egotistical in building this park.
I can see.
Monokuma pipes up. Only the south part of the district is Monokuma themed.
Okay,
he s-
what's the north?
Oh well, that would be the ski resorts and snowboarding, but that's currently closed.
And what about the east?
That would be the beach, which is currently closed.
What about the west?
That would be the Zoo and Wildlife exhibit, and that is currently closed.
All right, so when
There's
does the
gonna
East
be a
open up?
zoo. Hold
Yes,
on.
yes.
I'm super excited for this zoo. How long?
I'm not sure how long exactly, but a little ways. Like I said, you're 3 months early.
Where do you get the food for the animals?
Right, we need to feed some kittens.
Other animals.
Eh,
It depends on the
uh,
animal.
Where do I get food for kittens?
He tilts his head a little bit. Oh, we could probably find some in the housing area. I mean, I'm sure we've got cat food somewhere. Pretty much stocked up with everything we'll ever need.
For how long?
As you say this, his face almost seems to darken a little bit. You're all going to be my friends forever. And, he sort of tilts his head back a little, and his head glitches a tiny bit. And, he then looks, almost expecting you to ask perhaps more questions.
So forever means
I'm
you.
tightly gripping my backpack.
So forever, you mean there's enough food in this place with humanity destroyed for us to all live for upwards of 50, 60, 70 years?
Try hundreds. If you plan on living that long, then you can worry about the food running out. Well, probably not even.
How?
All the food is grown underneath the amusement park. That might seem strange. I'll explain a little bit later, but you don't have to worry about food, animals, all your possible whim. This is a dream come true.
What about
You're
fresh
not some
water?
kind of prisoner. We have plenty of that. You won't run out of water either.
That's
This
impressive.
is a paradise. Oh, trust me, water is the last thing you'll have to worry about. And Allison, you in particular feel like there's a weight behind those words.
Oh, why?
Yeah, it feels fucking ominous.
Yeah.
All right, so are we done exploring the south and ready to go to the central district?
Wait,
1 second. All right, Allison had to ask me a question. She didn't like the answer she got.
Generally never do.
All right, you all said you're ready to move on?
I'm gripping my backpack.
But it's on the merry-go-round unless someone grabs him.
Right, I forgot about that.
Uh, if we go any further, I'm gonna make sure I go grab him, but we leave him behind. He's still. So I walk over to the merry-go-round, just like tell him, like I kind of beckon him to me, like, "Come on, we have to go."
Looks at you confused for a moment.
Look back at him angrily.
Crash
Falls off
accompanied.
merry-go-round.
Oh God, Crash accompanied you, and as he sees Bud fall, he says, "You know, funny enough, I bet when he's spinning around on that merry-go-round, I bet the world stands still to him."
Oh, it does. I remember spinning a while back.
I wonder
Um,
if it counteracts the drunkenness.
I wasn't drunk at the time I was spinning. I was just randomly spinning. It was one of my times where I just had a, what they call it, a brain fart blockage or something.
I too get those, Crash says.
But you know what I mean. You just don't feel like, or you don't have the energy to write. Or in your case, maybe not the energy to drive.
Ah, I get it. Running out of gas.
There, yeah.
Got it. We've reached an understanding. And Crash sort of attempts to help you up, Bud.
Let him.
All right. Begins walking you back. I'm assuming you all rejoin the group.
Yes.
Ellison,
Okay.
how obvious is it that you're grabbing onto your
I'm
backpack?
just like gripping the. I'm assuming I have it on my back, so I'm just kind of gripping the
The straps.
straps. Thank you. So unless you were looking really close, you probably wouldn't notice.
Okay.
If you want, you can make him roll for it. That's up to you.
I just wanted to know how. If it's not super obvious, then I wouldn't notice.
Okay. So eventually everybody rejoins, and after touring the South District, Monokuma leads you to a much smaller and less intricate gate. On either side is an intricate carving of Monokuma beckoning you through the entryway. Ugh. All right, and as you walk into what is known as the center district of the park, this district appears very well organized, almost methodical in its placement of vegetation and infrastructure. Every bush, every tree, every hedge is trimmed to absolute perfection. The most prominent feature of this district is also the most prominent of the entire park, a massive tower that reaches so high it almost seems to touch the sky. A small shop is also located here, as well as a hotel-like complex where you are informed you'll be living. The center district is also the main artery of the park, enabling access to all of the various districts, though most of them, as you have been told, are currently closed. Monokuma tours you around the living quarters first. A modest 5-story building with a Monokuma-themed fountain in front of the entrance. The first floor is administration and check-in. The second floor, as you head upstairs, is a gym and recreational area, so tennis courts, that sort of thing. The third area is a large banquet hall and kitchen, which you're informed later during the day. There will be a big feast there, and everybody will be caught up to speed on everything that Monokuma knows. The fourth floor is where your party will be staying. And finally, the fifth floor, you are told, is off limits. The interior of each room, as far as the dorms go, is completely identical. One bed, one bath, and a phone with which to call for room service or even other rooms. Holding your fancy new Monokuma-themed pad next to the door unlocks your assigned room, and only your assigned room, and once opened, the door locks behind you. Windows give a breathtaking view of the park below. So that is the living quarters. I will be right back. All this water is killing me. I have to run to the bathroom real quick.
No problem.
All right, so yeah, you can all
Quick,
discuss
guys,
what I've
role
told
play.
you. Quick, come up with plans to destroy the DM. I don't know.
I began
I'll be
drunk
right back.
dialing on the phone.
We'll handle that when I'm back. BRB.
All right. So, did anyone see a giant Disney logo anywhere? Because I feel this is their doing.
No.
No, only the big bear face everywhere.
I feel Disney's the only corporation that had enough money to pull this off.
What about Google?
Got a point.
You know, he's not wrong.
You're not wrong, but they're not in the amusement park business.
Amazon?
Ooh, there's an ass-hatty company.
They're probably the one that destroyed the world.
Yeah. So now that we know what we're saying, does anyone want a cat for company?
I mean, if we can find cat food.
We'll find cat food.
What color kittens do you have?
I've left for a minute, and the kittens are back. I see.
I didn't get far enough into the cat development to decide what color they are.
Just
Are they
like
all the
normal
same color,
cat.
or do you have several?
I have 12 of them.
Right, but are they all the same color? Are they all the same?
No, there's a mix and match batch.
Okay.
Okay, Sean, you said you were drunk dialing.
Yes, there was a phone. I'm trying to order a pizza, so I'm calling the Domino's numbers that I know.
All right. As you begin typing in those numbers, you lift the receiver to your ear. You'll hear static. You type in the number, and do you say any? Well, I guess what would happen is you hear a shrill voice over over the other end. It's the same voice you heard earlier with the painfully shrill voice. Hello, housekeeping? I didn't know this was our number.
Yeah, can I get a large pepperoni with extra peppers?
30
Onion?
minutes or it's free.
I'll hold you to that.
All right. You hear a click over the other end.
What?
One of the NPCs Castanet. Well, what happened?
Huh?
Are we getting a pizza?
They said they'd be here in 30 minutes or it's free.
Is that them already coming down the road?
Do you have money to pay for that?
Shrugs.
No, Monokuma pipes up. All the food is free. You don't have to worry about that. Only the things in the gift shop cost mono coins. Everything else is completely free. And also, the kitchen is he begins counting on his paws. What floor was that again? His head begins glitching. Oh yeah, the third large banquet hall and kitchen.
All right, so I think that goes my theory that this clearly can't be Disney, Google, or Amazon because they'd be charging money out the wazoo.
Six
Yeah.
Flags?
No, they're greedy
No,
too.
they're not relevant enough.
Or maybe Busch Garden.
What?
You know, Busch Garden?
What?
Are we already technically told who did this, Savior?
Ah,
Yeah, but that could just be a hidden name from some secret shadow organization.
true, but we need some clues first.
One
I mean,
sec.
all-
All right. One sec. I have to reply to something Allison said.
Mm.
All right, we're back. The more answers Allison gets, the worse it gets. All right, let me think. So that is the dorms. They are all completely identical. I think I pretty much went over everything that's in there. One bedroom, one bath. You all know how to get in there. All of them have a lone air conditioner. Did anybody have any questions about the housing?
Not at the moment.
All right. Leaving that part, next Monokuma takes you to a small shop. A lone air conditioner drones from somewhere inside, and a small hourglass rests on the counter. The shelves seem to be empty at the moment, and Monokuma tells you that the shop will probably be operational tomorrow or the day after, but is not currently stocked.
Is this a place where I could also stock my books if need be?
Monokuma seems very confused. What do you mean stock book? Like sell?
Yes, like since I will be here for a long time, I would like to have some books here for my new fans here to read.
I suppose that'd be fine.
Ah,
Monokuma's head begins glitching a little bit as he begins thinking and staring at the shelves.
we'll work out details later, but to note that is very fine. All right, continue with your lovely tour.
Well, this is where you'll be spending all of your mono coins you receive. And he sort of gestures towards the again empty shelves. This'll be this'll be fixed up later. And he sort of pats one of the shelves. And
Oh,
all right. Moving on. You guys are almost through like the actual beginning and starting the day-to-day stuff. So yeah, the
yay!
beginning is a lot. But we actually made more time than I thought. We're only going to continue for a little bit longer here. But just to let you guys know, this is pretty much the slowest part, and you guys are almost through all of it, so.
And then the murder.
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 No.
Um,
It's a relaxing resort. There's no murder here.
Yeah,
right.
why would there
It's
be
all
murder here?
peaceful. I even changed the background of the thing, so it's light, it's happy, there's trees in the background.
But are you changing that again, Nick?
That is exactly what I plan on doing, don't worry about it. But anyways,
I do feel
so-
relaxed.
good. Let's check back on that like during next session. We'll see how relaxed you are. So the shelves, like I said, they're empty. Leaving that, the last thing he brings you to the massive tower that sits in the middle of the entire amusement park. It reaches very high, seems to quite literally touch the sky. Just center above a heavy wooden door that serves as the entrance is a depiction of two warriors fighting, one male and one female, their swords clashing. Beneath the female figure is written the word risk, and beneath the male is written the word reward. So, DM explaining what the puzzle tower is. You remember when we had the one shot I did where Sherman's character became a literal god, and I gave all of you prizes that you could use in the next campaign I were to run, and you could all use those and spend those. So, what the puzzle tower is every so often, I will put a puzzle in here, and whoever finishes the puzzle gets rewards like what you guys received at the end of the one campaign to use for another campaign. This is going to be basically a double-edged sword, because you'll be able to spend your free time doing this, but you will be foregoing increasing any relationship with your peers. So it's kind of like if you want to focus on perhaps the next campaign or are feeling a little bit risky and want to, you know what I mean. But yeah, you'll have rewards that you can win. So that is the point of this. And as you get to the puzzle tower, I will read you your first puzzle, and afterwards, I suppose I'll share it after I read it, just so you all have it. So, this week's puzzle: a white-colored heavy grimoire with blue intricate detailing rests on the outstretched and open hand of a vaguely humanoid statue. A red bookmark is inserted near the halfway point, and the pages give off a slight scent of vanilla. The book itself seems filled with poems, stories, and snippets, all of which whose themes appear to be hope, innocence, purity, and forgiveness. Opening to the bookmarked pages, you find a small passage. The mysterious forever, something like hope. And it's very complicated syntax, but it goes like this. This matter did not exist to me, nor I to it, until the moment of my conception, or perhaps a short time thereafter. My belief being that what we know as the soul to be a gross amalgamation of memories and experiences written across a hollow canvas of stars known as space and time, the cursive of fate's hand. God, perhaps. I used to hold true the atheist belief that oblivion awaits behind the curtain of the hourglass. However, upon reflecting with a cold logic, ironically, I found something akin to hope in the darkest place. I was pulled out of a state of non-existence once before, and I would be utterly foolish to believe that after a soft eternity, the matter of my matter would matter once again, but until then, no matter. And at the bottom of the page is a small list of numbers: 24, 35, 13, 2, and 4. And I will actually share this with you. 1 second. I had to fix a typo. A typo. I could just make this public. I'll just share it for now. I'll worry about that later. So there is the very first. Like I said, there's prizes if you finish it, but that is the purpose of the puzzle tower.
Let me see. Ooh.
So yeah, just you can pin that or whatever. That actually popped up, right? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Wanted to didn't like double check. All right. So with that, we're gonna sort of hurry so we can wrap up here. Monokuma tells you. 1 second. Let me look up. Oh no.
Ooh.
Monokuma tells you that the tour is over. that he is going to go to the kitchen and help prepare a massive feast, and that you guys will have free time, but to return at any time around sunset to start congregating back to the third floor of the housing area, and he will explain pretty much everything he knows, and that's probably going to be where we leave off.
So do
Uh,
you leave off going to our rooms?
If you want to go to your rooms,
can you? Well,
but
have we
just
been shown rooms?
yep, that was
Okay.
yep, you guys were shown.
Okay.
Do I get my pizza?
Well, you kind of left.
He finds the pizza right where he left.
We'll
this-
just say that was your room, and if you choose to go to your room, yes, you will find a pizza.
So we get room service.
Yes.
Interesting.
But just to let you guys know how this next part is going to work when we get back, this is officially, if I can speak correctly, this is officially the start of free time. Basically, what'll happen is you'll pick one person that you want to hang out with, and hope nobody else picks the same person. And you'll become closer with them. You'll spend the day hanging out with them, and you might learn something about them. I'm not foreshadowing anything. And that will be sort of how the day-to-day thing works. Usually what I'm going to try to do is like morning story things, then you guys have free time, and then something special and different happens during the nighttime, but we'll get to that when we get to that. So yeah, we're leaving off starting free time next time when we start back up. So hopefully this wasn't too much of a headache for you guys. I hope you had some measurable amount of fun.
I mean,
My
it's
voice
just the
is dying.
opening.
I think all our craziness.
It was fun, but I mean, as you said, it's the opening. You have to get through a lot when starting a Danganronpa campaign. The
Yeah,
fun
I didn't want to.
comes in the next couple of sessions when we actually get
Yeah.
to start really talking with the NPCs and getting to know them.
Or murder.
Murdering people.
I'm already terrified, guys.
Murder.
Why ever would you be terrified? There's nothing wrong
Yeah,
with
it's just
this
a-
amusement park.
This murder would be great
Yeah,
for my book.
definitely nothing
He-
wrong.
He said that there was sunshine. Real actual sunshine. Probably not fake sunshine.
Foreshadowing. All right. But yeah, that's pretty much it for me. So
All right. Well, chat, thank you for joining us on our session 0/1 of the Danganronpa roleplay game. It is going to be great, and I cannot wait for more. This will be once a month, alternating
for the
with
love of God, once
Emeron.
a month.
So in 2 weeks on Friday it'll be our Emeron campaign, and then 2 weeks after that we'll be back to Danganronpa. But like I said at the beginning of the stream, join us for Extra Life next Saturday. It is gonna be a fun time. Gonna be playing a ton of games, gonna have a lot of fun, gonna become very loopy and tired near the end, which is always a fun time.
And
Gonna
then
drive me
murder.
insane as a DM again. I'm just kidding.
So join us as we try to raise at least $2,000 for charity and for the kids. It's going to be a great time. But without further ado, we will see you guys next Saturday for Extra Life. Bye-bye!
Bye.
Bye.